wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not
Wait.
Yeah.
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay. Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still in the sauce with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him. And if I did, I never ever traded him. You never know what is a star? Like under the city, the driver's like Florida. Gucci get large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as can be. You can watch us on YouTube with viewing for free. Hey, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, what they gonna do next?
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Oh man, I just
Oh, I know what you got.
I didn't know if I could make the show today, guys. It's just
I know what you got. I know what it is. I got it too.
you got it.
Yeah.
We just haven't been feeling right lately. It's just
What's wrong with you guys?
I don't know. You know,
Got the Barkov.
you got a Barkov.
Yeah.
I was up all night. I was up chucking, and
Yeah.
just I don't know. I just saw. I just
I haven't figured out one for Reinhart.
it got a little bit of Reinhart disease. I don't know. It's like it's getting to me. I just a little Reinhart burn. It's a little indigestion.
Yeah.
And I just think it's all just a bunch of symptoms. But cat fever! Man, how does Barkov do that? He's a wizard. How does he do the thing that's? I thought that was Mighty Ducks, where you
right, where you put it in and then
wow,
it
he's a wizard.
Dude.
Is that legal? Is that legal though? Do we know if that's legal? I mean, if Barkov deems it legal, it is legal.
You know what's amazing? I don't think we really, really understand how good these guys are.
Man,
they are making some of the best teams in the NHL look like high schoolers.
Yeah.
Like when they beat Detroit, that's a good team. I mean, what they did to the Lightning,
embarrassing.
Oh, goodness.
They humiliated them. And then, yesterday you go into Madison Square Garden, you go into their barn. Some people call it the Mecca. I call it a dump. And the Florida Panthers, these cute little Rangers fans and Knicks fans on skates, they think we're gonna beat these stupid cats. It's our building. And no, you didn't. And Rhino just comes in there and he scores 2 more goals because that's what he does. And then the Lamborghini revs up too much. It's just too much. There's too much firepower. There's too much muscle. There's too much of them being a pain in the ass for you to deal with. And that is why we are infected down here. The rates have never been higher. All right. Because we got a pandemic going on right now. Cat fever is sweeping in South Florida.
You know what's amazing? And I watch as an ignorant hockey fan, right? I'm not going to say I know the particulars, but to me, it seems like this team has a definite grasp of when it's offensive time and when it's defensive time, right? Because when it's time to lock down, they lock it down. And when it's time to be aggressive, they are aggressive. And they don't get caught. Like in years past, they would get caught in between the two, and somebody would just be Scott-ass free against Bobrovsky, right? And we'd say, how does he get a breakaway like that? But that just doesn't happen now.
Nah, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's just, it's too much. You can't handle the Cats. You can't even contain them at this point, as they are looking down on everybody else in the National Hockey League. I don't worry about jinxes. I just worry about them taking care of their business, which is what they've been doing. They're too intimidating, too much firepower, and Sergei Bobrovsky's been a mother bleeping wall this year.
Another 2 goals only.
A wall this year, Sergei. and I'm so happy for him. I'm happy to see what he's brought to the table this
year.
year.
You're happy for him. We're all happy for him, but you leave him alone.
Maybe we could just we could deter. We could have him on. Just talk about what he's been doing this week.
Hey,
It's focus.
leave him alone.
Focus.
Yes.
Do you have the goals last night, Marcos? Can I hear a little
goodness.
action last night? Can I hear from Sam Reinhart his first goal to get the Cats in action yesterday? Let's hear it.
10 minutes to play here in the second period. 1-0, it's the Rangers in front. Montour walks it along, hands it off Barkov, near side Verhaeghe. Barkov cruising in, bouncing puck. Stick handles out front across, and they score. Sam Reinhart, what a play. Barkov put it across the front of the net to Reinhart, and the Panthers have tied this game at 1. A power play goal.
I don't even understand it. He's like ping-ponging the puck to himself. Whee! Yeah. Sometimes Barkov, he's the most unassuming guy in the world. You can't get 3 words out of him. And he has some of those beautiful moves on ice you've ever seen. Remember, last year he left Wayne Gretzky, he took Wayne Gretzky's breath away with that goal between the legs. This guy, his highlight reel is insane. And he's just so
quiet, unassuming.
And but his game sometimes, man, the stuff he can flash is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch, dude.
You would think if before the season, if I said who was going to lead this team in scoring, you would say Barkov.
Not scoring, but I definitely his ability to just be a chameleon all over the place. As Paul said, he's probably had his best defensive year. He just does everything. He'll set everybody up perfectly. I mean, sometimes making him score goals, like making a baby eat vegetables. You're just like, Barky, come on. He goes, I'd rather just get a better assist.
You're saying he's hockey Kyle Lowry?
No, I would never compare. I would never compare him to that rump bum. No, I would never do that.
Wait, we got a Christmas song. Kyle Lowry's gone. Rum bum 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 bum.
Barky once again finding Rhino for another goal.
Down to our right to play. It is Tkachuk. He's the first one on the scene. Pass out to center. Cousins near side Forsling, and he'll dump one down to our left. Around it goes Barkov over to the far corner. Barkov, short feed Reinhart. Barkov back up front. Reinhart, she scores! Top shelf! And the Panthers take the lead. It's 2-1 with 7:04 to go here in the second. Again, it's Barkov to Reinhart, and Reinhart goes upstairs.
Jesus, this Reinhart, 44 goals on the season.
Yeah,
he's gonna get 50, dude. He's gonna get 50.
Has any Panther ever gotten 50?
The Burre.
Yeah,
we did this pretty recent.
He got how many? 50 on the button.
Pavel Bure, the Russian
record, right? 50.
Panther. I think it was even more than that.
Oh, he's good.
He was good.
He was lightning in a bottle. Holy smokes, was he fast?
Incredible. 59 was his.
Isn't
50.
Is Pavel the one who married Candace from Full House?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, I met them at a party.
What?
But I met her years ago.
Interesting.
I met her in Seattle with Metcalf because Metcalf knew her.
Oh.
So we met her after a football game. We played Seattle. And then when I saw her here, they went to a party in Plantation, and I saw her. And she goes, I said, yeah, in Seattle.
The Rangers would tie things up with a power play goal late in the second period, and then Ryan Lomberg in the third, he put it into that bleep.
Puck shoveled away by Miller up the near side. Edstrom backhands it out to center ice. Brodzinski and Stenlin wrap up. Puck taken away at the line. Back come the Panthers on the counter. Up the left side, Lomberg, long shot, and he scores! Ryan Lomberg let it rip from out beyond the top of the left circle. It fooled Shesterkin, and the Panthers take a 3-2 lead with 13:49 to play.
No.
I love the traffic in the front, and the guy will shoot to the right upper corner, and everybody's just standing there because the goalie can't see. I'm like, oh.
Man, what a night. Panthers win 4-2. They get an empty netter to tack on there in the final minute, and they are winners 4-2 over the New York Rangers. What a night it is. Cat Fever is sweeping. All right. Also, we got an announcement today for the show. It's a Heat Ticket Blitz Tuesday.
Let's do it.
Every single hour during the show today and all the way through the QAM shows through Hogman and Crowder today till 6 p.m. We are giving away a pair of tickets for a finals rematch. Heat Nuggets next Wednesday, March 13th at the Kaseya Center. So keep listening. We will give away a pair of tickets this hour. We will give away a pair of tickets next hour, the hour after that, and the hour after that. So be listening for that. The Heat are back on the hardwood tonight against the Pistons. No Tyler
Let's
Hero.
do the math. 4 hours, 4 pairs. That's right, baby.
22 tickets.
Tyler Hero, Kevin Love, both out for tonight's game.
End up with 22 tickets, you jackass.
Did you do the whole show?
No, but if you do our show every day, it can't end up with 22.
You didn't carry the one. That's why.
What?
What'd you say about Kevin Love? Is he
No. You ain't getting out of this.
What?
How do you get to no.
Yeah.
Do frog math. How did you get to 22?
I may or may not have made a mistake with my math. Couple pairs here and there.
You can't. If you do our shows all week, you can't end up with 22.
Crowder the GOAT says hockey's cool, but I can't handle much more sports. My girl would cut me. Yeah, it brings me back to last year's playoffs. Like every night.
Oh my goodness, every night.
It was
hockey,
basically
hockey, basketball.
Better get ready again. You better get ready again.
Well, my wife.
Get your favors in.
My wife's favorite thing is if I watch 12 o'clock games and then watch 4 o'clock games, she thinks I'm watching reruns. That's how little she cares about sports.
I know. My wife gives no.
Oh, you did. How many times did you see Mel during the Super Bowl?
I mean, I saw her, but I did not see her locked in.
No, we were
the national anthem,
Taylor Swift,
the national anthem, and halftime show.
Yep,
that's it. She was out. She's like, "I'll see you in the morning. I'm out." By the way, I'm sleeping on the floor right now.
Jeez, really? Because of the snoring?
No. I'm not snoring anymore. I got something. Both pistons are working, not at full strength, but Sudafed.
Doesn't sound like your Pistons are working. It sounds like they're working like the Detroit Pistons.
No. I wasn't a mouth breather last night.
Oof.
Oh, it was beautiful. Sudafed cleaned that right up.
So why'd you sleep on the floor?
Because we're getting a new bed. And when they bring the new bed and the new everything, they don't take the slats, the wood part. They'll take everything else, but not that.
Right.
So we had to take those off. So when they come in, they just put it
right in.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So and dude, can I just tell you, I felt like I was sleeping in a zoo. Because the dogs, they're like, hey, it's not way up there anymore. I just walk on in and take a little, willy-nilly. I had one dog try to rip the pillow from underneath me and drag it to the floor. I'm like, are you bleeping kidding me?
No respect.
None.
So yeah, Tyler Hero, Kevin Love, they are out tonight.
Tyler Heroes, that's a little serious than we thought.
I don't like it.
It's been a minute now.
I'm feeling great about it.
Hyperextension, there's a lot of stuff going on right there. You can have the dreaded bone bruise.
Well, that's the thing is he's not dealing with the knee. This is apparently the foot thing that he hurt on vacation during the All-Star break. And I don't know. It's not making feel. Caleb Martin, though, expected to play. So apparently the chiclets are in place.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he's going to wear a mask.
You got those fixed right away.
Yeah, I don't know if
you
he's
just go get a crown. You're done.
So good to know that Caleb Martin, who's been playing awesome, he is going to give it a go tonight.
A lot of energy.
We will take a break. We'll continue on with some more silly stuff. Jon Anik, by the way, going to join us on the show today. Voice of the UFC 299 at the Kaseya Center later on this week. So, we got to talk to our guy, Jon Anik, before the UFC gets going this week. All the festivities
and in the
really
off
get going.
season, by the way.
What's that?
And in the off season.
What do you mean?
Isn't he a Bills fan?
No, he's a Pats fan.
Pats Ooh.
You're thinking of Helwani.
I'm thinking Helwani.
You're thinking
Yes.
Helwani. Helwani's a Bills fan. No,
he's
Jon
avoiding us. He's avoiding us.
Jon Anik would spit if you said that he was a Bills fan.
Ooh,
He would not
I'm
like
sorry. I'm sorry, John.
Take a break. Back after this.
Two Chains.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM.
Marco's laughing because you know that's how he come in, right?
Yeah. Is he on this Jason Derulo song? I've never listened to more than 30 seconds of any Jason Derulo song.
But wait, you know what's the other one? You know who else does that?
Oh.
21 Savage. He always comes in
21.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry,
started that you brought that up. I was like,
I'm gonna start saying my name from now on because apparently, you know, I don't like this that this has happened now. A lot of people saw me at the show, and very small amount of people said Marcos. A lot of people were like, "What's up, Frog Boy?" And I'm like, all right. I guess everyone's doing that.
I apologize.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was gonna be a thing. I was like, all right, cool, great.
What about instead of Art?
One of the most famous comedians' name is Fluffy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that is his name. He just go. But
no, I know
it's
Iglesias. What's his first name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel. Yeah.
Well, what about instead of Art God Savvy, you go Art Frog Savvy?
I'm gonna have to, dude. No one calls me.
And then it goes, you know, before you know it's a track. It's like your thing.
Yeah, it's like I'm about to come on the track, beats playing, you hear.
Yeah, exactly. Because think about it, it'd be like everybody would, I know who that is. And by the way, Bad Bunny. You know, leaping ability
of some sort.
Yeah, leaping ability. Nobody has the frog. Nobody has the frog.
No one. Yeah, I am the frog now. That's great.
Yeah.
Game ops.
You don't seem very thrilled about this.
No, I wasn't until I had a game ops idea. That would be pretty cool. Frog legs every venue that I'm at.
Yeah, but
I said I haven't had frog legs.
Hey, dummy, you don't eat seafood.
They taste like seafood. I've never had them before.
What do you think it tastes like hanging out in the water?
It's kind of hybrid, though. It's not a fish. I mean, it's amphibian.
Yeah.
You know, so it's got both. You'd be all right.
And everybody says it tastes like chicken. That's a damn lie.
Have you ever had it?
Yeah.
Frog legs? What does it taste like?
Like, sometimes you'll have it and it tastes kind of like chicken, like the texture or whatever, but it's still water. It tastes like the water around it. Correct.
I don't like that.
No, I hate it because I don't like fishy fish, right? I don't like if I get a piece of fish and they have the silver stuff on it from the skin, I'm out because that's the fishiest part.
Crazy. Russell Wilson's time in Denver has come to an end.
Listen, can I just say something?
Sure.
Is this, what is it, biting off your nose to spite your face? They hate him so much that they will take an $85 million hit against the cap.
It's crazy.
Where are they going?
I don't know.
That means you $85 million, a guy playing on another team, you ain't going nowhere.
I don't know where they're going.
You can't build a team with $85 million in dead money.
I don't know where they're going.
They said it is a record for dead money in the history of the NFL.
No, it's crazy.
So they just hate him so much.
And especially the coach.
Right. But you know what? It's somebody made a point. I was watching Jet Up this morning.
Jet Up.
And they made a very interesting point. Is that when you spend that much money on somebody, you have pretty much determined that you're going to build something around him. Right? And that's not what happened with Russell Wilson. Because Sean Payton came in and said, I want you to do it how I want to do it.
Yeah.
So is that bad coaching or bad playing?
Because I think it's stubborn coaching because you come in you come in as a guy obviously very credentialed and you think, oh, you're gonna do it my way because
you're gonna throw away more money than the coach is gonna make.
Oh yeah.
Think about that.
It's crazy.
So
but, you know, if the coach doesn't believe in him, like I guess you might as well, but I don't know where they go.
Be wrong. We saw that down here. We lived it. So could it be a situation where Sean Payton's wrong?
Yeah, it could be.
Because Brian Flores was wrong.
Brian Flores was wrong, but I mean, it's a young quarterback as opposed to a veteran.
Right. But still the same here. The investment in a pick is very similar to the investment in the amount of money, in that you went out and got him. You would, and here's how the Dolphins went. They chose a broken quarterback over a healthy one. So that means your investment in him has to be there, because you're already taking a risk.
Well,
you're already saying, we would rather have this guy get healthy. We think he's going to be better than the healthy option we have right after it.
It's also crazy because when these coaches just get it set in their mind that a guy's never going to work out for them,
they don't never change it.
They never get out of that. Like, that happened this year with Fangio and the
Right.
young guy. Like, it's like, oh, nah, he's never going to get it.
Right.
To a degree, it happened with Mike McDaniel and the tight end with Gesicki the first year. Like,
Correct.
Once a guy's not going to get it.
I'll say the difference there is this. When Mike McDaniel sees a tight end, he sees a blocker who can catch. He doesn't see a receiver who can come in and block every now and then. And Gesicki was more of a slot guy that you put at the end of the line scrimmage and kind of chip or whatever. He wasn't an integral part of run blocking. So the whole concept of what he thought a tight end was different than Mike Gesicki, and they tried to make it work.
First post on Dolphins Reddit today is about bringing in Russell Wilson. Marcos, stop going on Dolphins Reddit.
Hey, what a good idea, dude.
Marcos,
mobile. This guy's mobile.
Marcos,
Let me
explain something to you.
They're the same person.
Marcos,
they're not the same person.
Marcos,
they're the same person.
Marcos, let me explain.
Matter of fact, Tua will be lucky to have the career Russell Wilson.
Marcos,
yep.
Let me explain something to you. First of all, it's not just me. It's not just Denver. There were people with stuff on them streets about Russell Wilson long before he got to Denver.
For sure.
Right? So, but here's the thing. You understand what is happening today at 4:00, and you want to talk about Russell Wilson? How dare you?
He just likes mobility.
My guy might not be on the Dolphins next year.
I'm so mad. I know.
Here, let me say this. Everybody seems too damn calm about this.
Yep.
And I think something may be up that we don't know about. Right? It just seems like too laissez-faire about Christian Wilkins being on the open market. That never, it just doesn't happen. Right? You haven't heard anything.
I just think it's just strange to me that it got to this point, especially because he's arguably Chris Greer's best draft pick.
Correct.
And I just think it's crazy that we've gotten to this point. Like,
can I tell you the only problem I have with this? Usually GMs take pride in having the guy that you drafted be one of the main reasons why you win. They have paid and brought in several other defensive guys, right? And given them big contracts.
Yep.
And now they don't want to pay the guy they drafted. That's the hardest part for me to be able to accept. I don't understand that part of it. When it seems like you would want to have this guy as part of the future of this team because it makes your draft look good.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Your selection look good.
Everybody is, and the thing that's weird about it is wherever he ends up going, if he doesn't end up staying with the Dolphins, people are going to be so happy that they got a star player.
You know what? Who I would do whatever I can to get him? Dallas. Their defense is terrible. Their run defense is terrible.
Oh man, don't say that, because like if Jerry Jones gets him in a room in that mansion.
Yeah, but here's the other thing. They also might be trying to get Saquon Barkley.
He loves. I mean, listen, he loves flash.
So
he loves stuff.
You're talking about 25, 30 million a year between the two of them. I don't know if they have that kind of money.
No, I don't know either. Like
everybody.
Houston is like that's the one that everybody keeps circling back. Houston and New England are like the two main players. The other ones are really, really like terrible teams.
He's not. New England's a terrible team.
I know, but I told you there's a sentimental thing there.
I'm telling you from a player perspective, there ain't enough money in the world to get you to go play for a bad team.
There's enough money in the world.
And then no, but here's what happens. Here's what happens. They give you all that money. In a couple of years, it doesn't work, and you're done.
Didn't Mario Williams go to the Bills when they were really terrible? Yep. Everybody's like, Buffalo?
Yep.
Like, there's enough money in the world. There's enough money in the world.
Okay. I'm just saying, where he is now, I don't care how much you want to play in front of your hometown, and I get that. They are terrible with no quarterback, there's so many holes to fill. I find it hard to believe they're going to start. Here's where we're going to start. We're going to start our rebuild with giving a nose tackle a boatload of money.
He's good, though.
He's
good.
Here, please don't.
Hometown, taken from your division rival.
Please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. At no point in time am I ever going to say Christian Wilkins is not worth the money. I'm not saying that. Okay? But I want you to think back to all of the moves that the New England Patriots have made.
Different time though, dude. It's a new era. It's not Bill Belichick's Patriots anymore.
Okay.
It's not. You gotta account for that.
No, I gotta account for they suck. That's all I gotta account for. That's what I gotta account for.
One thing
I gotta account for how much money they're gonna have to give him versus what Houston's gonna have to give him or the Dolphins gonna have to give him to make up for that and to make up for playing on a terrible team.
One thing that doesn't suck is free tickets. Right now, we're giving away a pair of Heat Nuggets tickets. We're giving away a pair of tickets every single hour.
You know the brothers will be here.
Oh, yeah. They love Miami. If you guys want to go to Heat Nuggets next Wednesday, it is our Miami Heat Tuesday ticket blitz. Right now, caller number 5. Caller 5 to 305-567-0560. 305-567-0560 is our contest line. 305-567-0560. Caller number 5 for Jovic. Better than Jokic. Jovic, dude. Caller number 5 to 305-567-0560 gets a pair of Heat Nuggets tickets. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, Miami 560 WQAM, and on the Odyssey app. We're back after this.
Talking in my sleep at night, making myself crazy. Out of my mind, out of my mind. Wrote it down and read it out.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
You want to hear something funny?
Sure.
So, who did we just finish talking about?
Christian Wilkins.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Oh, okay.
I just got an email. Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias is coming to Hard Rock Live.
Wow.
They're listening, dude.
Is that
They're
crazy?
listening. They're listening, dude. I don't like it.
Winning lotto numbers, winning lotto numbers, winning lotto numbers.
Never works like that, man.
No.
Never works, doesn't.
Let's see. We got some news today. NFL news flying in. The Carolina Panthers have placed the franchise tag, non-exclusive franchise tag, on outside linebacker Brian Burns. He's probably like, no.
Yeah, right.
No, the non-exclusive is I forget how it works. You have to give up the pick you were picked at,
Ooh.
or
It says
they get a right of first refusal.
it allows the player in question to negotiate with other teams. If a team comes with an offer, the original team has the opportunity to match it.
Okay, and then the main franchise tag is you get paid the top 5 average of your position, and nobody else can work anything out. Okay, gotcha.
What's a transition franchise tag?
That's the same thing we just talked about.
Okay, exclusive, non-exclusive, and transition apparently are the only 3 franchise. I didn't realize there were such 3 franchise tags, and you can't offer Christian Wilkins one of them.
You know how that's the non-exclusive franchise tag is how the Dolphins lost the slot receiver.
Landry?
No.
Charles
Back in the
Clay.
day. Huh?
Charles Clay.
There wasn't a slot receiver, dumbass.
He was a tight end.
Slot receiver. Wes Welker.
Oh.
Because they had something. Wait, I think, and I'm almost positive, but I could be off on this.
Very aggressive on
They
his
put
dumbass.
They put something in his contract that if he played a certain amount of games in Florida, that he got a bonus. And that's what the Dolphins couldn't match it.
What?
So it was in the wording of the contract.
Damn.
I'm almost positive that's how they lost Wes Welker.
Guy says, Cat Lord says the Dolphins need to find the guys who want to win more than get paid. Bro, what are
Really?
you talking about?
You know what? -1. -1.
That's fair.
-1. Really? What earth do you live on?
Oh man.
Yeah, like you take that to your family and to your job and see if they don't run over you. Oh, he'll stay here. He likes his job. We don't have to give him more money. Oh my goodness. Nobody. That's what pisses me off. See, that's the thing that pisses me off about all of this. Nobody lives under those rules, but they want to stand and sit on their high horse and tell athletes, you got to live by those rules.
It's also a crazy thing because it's like, you know, if you're Christian Wilkins and
this is his first contract.
It's his first contract past his rookie year, and it's also like you've seen your franchise give out Jalen Ramsey, Tyreek Hill.
That's the part. That's the point.
Bradley Chubb.
That's the part. Even on the defensive side, I only included the defensive side.
Yeah,
all the contracts that they gave out, and Christian Wilkins is all sat back. This is here. If you want to know why players make a stink, okay. And I want fans to understand this too. Being the company guy doesn't get you crap, okay? Christian Wilkins has been a company guy who's always said he wanted to play for the Dolphins. And next year, he could quite possibly not be playing for the Dolphins because the Dolphins didn't take him serious. And this happens a lot. The company guy, the guy who's going to be your rah-rah team guy, I'm all about the team or whatever, never gets compensated. It's the guy that pulls out. It's the guy that takes his team off Twitter. It's the guy that makes a stink. That guy always seems to get his money.
Sure.
If you have a problem with that, talk to your damn team. It ain't the player. Because Christian Wilkins tried to do it the right way. And he still didn't get compensated.
He did it in the most polite way possible.
Yes.
It was something like a hold in where he showed up. He just didn't do stupid drills in shorts. And, the entire time he was like, I don't want to talk about the contract. Don't want to be a distraction. Was happy when his friend got paid.
Company guy. Look at all the guys who got contracts. Weren't company guys. I want out. I want mine. And you guys, anybody out there, gonna sit there and say some nonsense about the Dolphins need guys who gonna Christian Wilkins was that guy.
Well, think about this. Like, okay, if you guys live in that world, so you guys realize Tyreek Hill's on the Dolphins because he wanted to get paid, right? Like, he was in the most winning situation.
They don't.
Are you guys enjoying Tyreek Hill less because he wanted to get paid?
Right.
Is he any worse at his craft because he wanted to get paid? Like, that's the thing that's crazy about it. You have the most fun you've had as Dolphins.
Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey.
He wanted a contract, got traded so he get a contract.
But like, here's Tyreek Hill. He's watching his former team win Super Bowl after Super Bowl without him, and he got paid. But he got what he wanted because they weren't going to pay him there. They weren't going to pay him what he thought he was worth. I'm not faulting either one, but I'm just saying it's funny that you Dolphins are now looking at Christian Wilkins and being like, well, you're being greedy. Well, the whole reason that you have your team where it is right now is because a guy got greedy and he decided to come to the Miami Dolphins.
Right.
And it doesn't affect one way or another how good a player he is.
Right.
Now, listen, fat cats are going to fat cat. There will be fat cats every now and then who you'll get duped by, but I don't think Christian Wilkins is a fat cat.
Yep. Hey, I got a Twitch said it perfectly. Right? So Wilkins needs to harden it. That is correct. Harden it. That's it.
Put on the fat suit?
Daryl Morey is a liar?
Oh, my God. Chris Greer is a liar. He had the hand. Like,
Here's the deal. And I fully believe this is what's happening. Right? Marcos, you know this saying. Yesterday's price ain't today's price.
Yep.
The Dolphins didn't screw up with today's price. They screwed up with yesterday's price. Because dude went into the season and balled out. You can't pick up where you left off and go, oh, we'll give you what you want. No, the price has changed.
Yeah,
he put his butt out there, right? And if he wouldn't have produced, you know what you would have said? We're not going to give you what you asked for last year.
I think the thing that's crazy about this, too, is put whatever emphasis you want to in defensive tackle and how much you're supposed to invest in or whatever. The Dolphins are probably going to lose to their, or I don't want to say probably, but the Dolphins have left themselves open to lose their third best player. Like at worst, Christian Wilkins. Like
I would say as far as here's why you have to be careful with, like, you can look at his production and say third best player. But as far as importance and what he does on that defensive front, dude, there aren't a whole bunch of D tackles, right, that play all over the field the way he does.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, all right, we'll all acknowledge Tyreek Hill's the best player on the Dolphins. This we know, okay? Tyreek Hill's the best player on the Dolphins. Christian Wilkins and Jalen Ramsey.
I would say that Jalen Ramsey's success has more to do with Christian Wilkins than him being great. Because if you don't have a pass rush, I don't care how good you are in the secondary.
So, like, all right, at worst, the Miami Dolphins are probably losing their third. Like, there's no way this isn't going to impact you in a big way next year. It's like, and we're sitting here and we're talking about, you could patchwork it here. Dude, they were playing with like garbage men as their pass rushers in the last week of the season. You don't think the only reason that the Dolphins made it look respectable on defense is because of him?
Him and Sealer.
I don't know, man. This seems like you said. I think
to me,
fans.
It seems as if though there's some kind of plan out there that I'm not aware. Because here's how it works, right? If you don't have to use your franchise tag, then you don't because of the communication, right? And we haven't really heard anything other than outsiders saying Christian Wilkins is getting ready to hit the open market. But we haven't really heard that from the Dolphins saying we're going to let him hit the open market.
Yeah, we don't know if he's taking any visits or anything like that.
That's the thing that has me wondering if they're still working on it because he wants to be here, right? Because you haven't heard from either side
supposedly
about testing the free market.
I saw Barry report yesterday. Barry Jackson reported that lines of communication are open, that nothing is ruled out as of now.
Right.
And I think honestly, as an agent, you're probably like, great, I can go now actually negotiate with no restrictions. I think the thing the Dolphins have just left themselves open to is
somebody going.
He doesn't owe you anything now.
Here's the problem, and here's what always happens. No matter how much money your owner has, there are teams that have more money than you. And that means that cap, right? So we know for a fact he ain't going to Denver, right? Like,
definitely not.
Right? But when you look at a team like Houston, like a young star, I think they would pay Christian Wilkins just because of his age and the youth that they can have on and have them all grow together. Right. So yeah, that's the one team I'm probably more worried about because I don't care how much money New England has, they ain't good enough. They got too many things. And I don't know if it would be wise to go spend all that money on a D tackle when you have so many other holes to fill. That doesn't seem like the Patriots at all.
They just have more space than anybody, the Patriots right now.
Right. Yeah, because they have no players.
Take a break. Back after this.
for our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tagovailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Let's get to our headlines. Brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy a truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
The Heat, they're back on the hardwood tonight. They're taking on the Pistons. 11.5-point favorites tonight, Leroy, against the dreadful Detroit Pistons. No Tyler Hero or Kevin Love tonight.
Shrunken bench, they ball out. I don't know why. I can't explain it.
Feels like a Jacquez night.
Oh,
feels like a Jacquez night to you guys? Feels like a Jacquez night to me.
Okay.
What
are you doing?
His point total will be what? 13?
His over-under for tonight? I don't know. Let me look. Hard Rock app that.
I knew it was going to lead to this. I knew it was going to lead to this.
Feels like a what? Why are you dismissed? What's wrong?
I know that you're it's easy to get you to determine this is a Jacquez night, even though he's really only come big for you that one time during the Christmas.
What a Christmas. What a Christmas it was.
Yeah, what a Christmas it was.
Man, I had one that I nearly hit. I hit a 6-leg same game parlay. I hit 5 out of 6. And the only thing that I missed, I had Jimmy Butler over, Duncan over on points, Jimmy on steals, Bam on blocks. The only thing I didn't hit was Tyler Hero assists. And it was the day that he got the hyperextension. He had 3 assists in the first quarter. Yeah. I needed 2 more to hit, and I would have hit it was like plus 1900 I got it up to. I was like a greedy pig. And he goes down. I was like, no. He had 2 looks, 2 dishes to Jacquez for the threes. He bricked them both. But tonight feels like a Jacquez night.
Oh, yeah. With that being said, tonight is a Jacquez.
Tonight's a Jacquez. He's not listed yet, though. The only guys on player props listed so far on Hard Rock: Butler, Adebayo, Scary Terry, and Dunks.
Butler's what, 26?
No
23 and a half.
23 and a half?
23 and a half. Bam's 21 and a half.
Scary Terry?
Scary Terry's over-under is 16 and a half tonight.
He hasn't hit that number too much.
He, if you think Scary Terry against the Pistons goes over 30, plus 1600 tonight. If you think Scary Terry tonight goes over 30,
remember the first week we got him? I think you said he was due for a 30-point game.
I think tonight might be the night.
Tonight's the night, though.
Tonight might be the night.
Yeah, I feel like tonight is a good night for Scary Terry.
Let's see.
I don't know if he'll get 30, but he'll definitely get over 16.
What about Terry Rozier? Over 11 assists.
Wow.
Plus 1300.
How about a double-double?
Ooh, I love the double-double prop. Let's go. Let's see.
I was gonna say, I don't know if he's passing that much against the Pistons.
Terry Rozier double-double tonight.
Yeah.
Plus 700. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Jimmy Butler triple-double tonight.
Oh.
Plus 5,000.
5,000.
Triple-double.
He always flirts with a triple-double. Jimmy Butler plus 5,000. Throw a little 5-ski on it. What's the harm, baby? Little 5-ski, little 10-ski. Who's to,
you win 500?
Who's to say Jimmy Butler can't do that?
Because here's the problem.
$5.
Here's the thing that sucks about the Jimmy Butler triple-double.
I ain't do $5.
If he gets a whole point, if he gets to a certain point in the game and it's a blowout, he ain't even playing.
True.
He's the first one that comes out.
True. And it could be and he always usually rests, like start of the fourth quarter is usually when he's getting his rest in. Right. So like there's always that tweener moment of, okay, is he going to get brought back or not? So he'd have to get it within the first 3 quarters.
Not even, because if they're blowing them out, if it's one of those Golden State nights,
right?
And
if it feels like a Jacquez night, maybe he's taking those. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till the Jacquez line comes out, but it's staring at me. That plus 5,000 staring at me.
Is Caleb on there?
He's not listed. No.
Okay.
He's not listed. Those are the only 4 guys listed so far.
Caleb out too? Still out?
Caleb is still out. Yes.
Okay, so we
got Caleb,
Jovic, Jacquez, Jimmy, Bam, Scary Terry.
Although when I walk in the building tonight, maybe it'll feel like a Jovic night.
Highsmith.
Like, what if I walk into the arena tonight and I finger to the air? I'm like,
but here, can I just say something?
It's like a Jovic night.
Can I just say something?
Wins out the East?
Tobin would lose all of his money during pregame. Because when they do their pregame warm-ups, they don't miss.
Too many vibes.
Oh, yeah.
They don't miss. And you're like,
just feeling it.
I actually got a question now, Tobin.
Yeah.
I know you haven't been to too many games since his departure.
What's Dunks over under?
Yeah, I do want to know that, actually.
All right, let's look. But go ahead, finish your point, Frog Boy.
Yeah. Okay, you don't have to. Okay. You said that Lowry used to be the first guy out there. Lowry was always before anyone. Now that he's gone, who's the first guy out there?
It's been weird because they've had some shoot-arounds. Because last time, the last game, the first people out there were Duncan and Bam, but they typically were like the 3rd, 4th guys out. But that's who it's been lately. Nobody practices that early. Nobody does what Low Dog does. Or they practice like 4 hours before the game.
Can I ask a question? Oh wait, was he last night? He was supposed to get 11 or 10.
Tonight he plays.
Tonight. So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why is he out so early?
If he's not going to
shoot, I don't know. It's just his routine.
Is that not baffling?
Leroy, did you see March 1st? He put up a 15-point game.
I saw that. Tobin got it to me. That means to get his number, he needs to get 10.
He needs 10.
Well,
10 tonight, and they're playing the Nets, I think.
Who are terrible.
Yeah, they stink.
Solid little 1-for-9 performance 2
Here
days
it comes. Yep.
Okay, so Duncan's over under tonight. Bless you, bro. Well, it was a tweener. 13.5 for Duncan Robinson tonight.
What?
13.5 for Duncan Robinson.
I'd be all over that. Dunks has been on the roll. If Jimmy's been on the roll, Dunks has been on that same roll.
Duncan Robinson over under threes.
4.
2.5.
2.5 threes for Dunks?
Minus 180 though.
Easy money. Oh, it's minus 180.
Yeah. If you want him to hit 5 or more threes, plus 300.
That's not even. Yeah.
Now, Jimmy Butler, who's been cooking from downtown.
2 threes is going to pay $7 million.
No. Three or more threes is plus 500.
That's it?
Yeah.
That seemed like it should be more than that. Now all of a sudden
Yeah, they're quibbling.
I mean, the guy only shoots 2 a game. He shot 3 and made 3, and now all of a sudden the number's 3.
You're giving me 700 for a double from Scary Terry, which is more likely than Jimmy Butler hitting more than 3 threes.
Right.
No, he has to hit 3 threes. If he hits 3 threes,
you
hit.
2.5. Gotcha.
Yep.
So basically, the number's 2.5.
Yeah.
The number's 2.5. Correct. Leroy, can you get a weather update from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm? You're actionattorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
A little breezier, mostly cloudy. Still a little warm. I'd say 81 degrees. Winds are out of the. Got to tell you, I haven't seen any planes circling over my house. So I'm going to make the terrible assumption that it's out of the southeast still at about 10 to 15 miles an hour.
How do you do, Marcos?
Almost too good.
Wow.
81 degrees, just like he said. Winds out of the southeast, just like he said. 12 miles per hour, just like he said. and a marginal risk of severe weather today.
He's a golfer. He's a
Severe
golfer,
weather.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I know who always has a good forecast on things.
It can't really be marginal if the outcome is severe.
Hmm.
Right?
There was a mini hurricane the other day.
Oh man,
very
I had
brief.
number leaves and limbs in my street when I got up Monday morning.
Tons of debris.
Yeah.
If you guys want to know one thing that has a great forecast, that's Kozar Coffee, Leroy. Kozar
That
Coffee always
is
has a
correct.
great forecast.
We all know my guy Byrne, U of M great. Actually won national championship with the University of Miami. Got a Super Bowl ring, I think, with Dallas, I want to say. But he's been through it. You know, he's had a lot of injuries, over 40 surgeries, 100 concussions. But he was down and not out. He realized that food is medicine and changed what he put into his body. Bernie started creating wellness products and has finally released Kozar Coffee, an organic coffee that's infused with vitamin D and resveratrol, which is nature's miracle, antioxidant, and anti-inflammatory. This combination of ingredients is exclusive only to Kozar Coffee and is the perfect way to start your own journey to a healthier life. Here's all you need to do is go to kozarcoffee.com. You can either order your game-changing coffee or you can order some merch. I have a sweatshirt and a t-shirt. But if you use code Leroy, you'll get an exclusive discount because you know me. That's right. Just use code Leroy. We all know Bernie. We love him. Very positive. He believes you deserve to be healthy because you matter.
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM.
This was the crazy time where all of the musicians hooked up with a DJ. So with Calvin Harris or some of these other guys. So
All right.
that's when this song came out.
An interesting time indeed.
Yeah.
Make it seem like it was like the dark ages. Like,
No, but
they hooked up with those
it
damn
was
DJs.
No, instead of like getting together with a rapper or something like that, they all collabed with these DJs.
Well, Art Frog Savage is going to be.
Even Rihanna did a song. Did she do a song with Calvin Harris? Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What'd she do?
What is it?
I forgot the name, but it's actually a pretty popular song.
Yeah.
It is. This is what you came for, and we found love.
Baby.
Oh, she did. Yeah, we found love, obviously.
Yeah.
Those were pretty big hits. Love Riri.
Riri's good.
Yeah.
How are you feeling as your second day as a superstar, Marcos? Has it been hard? Has life been more burdened with you being such a big star?
Yeah, when I went home to take out the trash and wipe my baby's bottom, I realized back to normal.
It's all over. The buzz of the weekend has faded.
Absolutely. Still Frog Boy.
I mean, don't see it just still Frog Boy. Like Frog Boy is taking you to new heights.
In addition.
Yeah.
Yep.
In addition, you got to multitask.
Exactly.
Right?
You gotta be both, dude. You gotta be able to
Superman was Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Superman
Crazy
was.
guy. He wanted a job. He's like, let me become a journalist. What if Ira Winderman was secretly like a
Spider-Man used to take pictures.
Yep.
Yeah, take pictures of himself. He had an OnlyFans. Very crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
Certified possum holder. Yes, sir.
It is
sir.
It is interesting how they did want to manipulate the news, the superheroes.
Yeah, actually,
didn't Batman own a newspaper?
I believe he owned a lot.
He owned everything.
He owned everything. Yeah.
But rich. I tell you what's crazy. Marvel is in a bit of a spot.
How so?
Because they just got rid of the bad guy.
Oh
that
yeah.
Yeah. But Majors, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I just watched Creed 3 the other not too long ago.
How was it?
Good. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Not the best of the Creeds, but they were trying some things with the fight scenes. They were trying some different stuff. You know, some flashback stuff. I kind of just want to see them get crazy with it. But I will say the training scenes were really cool in Creed 3. They had Terrence Crawford in it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it was cool.
Somebody
Why
said Madam Web was atrocious.
That's the word. That even Sydney Sweeney was making fun of it in their monologue this weekend. Because nobody went to see Madame Web. I have no interest. I don't know. I don't even know what is that like is that a spinoff of Spider-Man? Is that like a
I don't know.
So it's
bootleg Spider-Man?
It's Sony's version. So, Sony recently had the rights to Spider-Man prior to him being in the Marvel universe.
Okay.
So now they no longer have the rights. So they essentially made a Spider-Man related movie without Spider-Man. Which is like, what are we doing?
Kind of stupid.
Very strange.
I could see why that didn't do so well.
That's cool.
Excited this weekend though. Boots on the ground. We got Jon Anik coming up here in just a minute. Boots on the ground this weekend. UFC 299.
I got a question locked and loaded.
Really?
Oh,
yes. Dang. But here's the deal. I've always wondered about this, and we've talked about this, especially the last couple of weeks. We always talk about, arm reach and wingspan and all this and all the sports. But you can get kicked in MMA. Why don't they talk about that?
It's become more popular. They used to just
you see what I'm saying?
Because they used to just do arm reach. They do leg reach. In fact, it was one of the ones listening back to his call of O'Malley versus Vera one.
That's where I was going to go with that.
They were talking about, John brought up that they had longer leg reach than Stipe, which is kind of crazy.
Right, but that's my point, because it seems like there's probably a couple of more numbers these guys should have wrote into their notes. It kept them from getting kicked in the face.
Dude, people get kicked in the face. I don't know what to tell
I
you.
know. Listen.
Did you see the flying knee this past weekend?
I did not.
Oh, I'm sending it to you right now.
Send it to me. But I'm just like
might have been knockout of the year.
Here, I've gotten off of the I was just along the lines of, hey Marcos, I'm gonna make you an MMA fighter, right? And a guy you get ready to fight kicked the last 3 people in the head, right? Aren't you gonna prepare for that? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that if I was fighting, I wouldn't let a guy kick me. I'm saying if I'm an MMA fighter and that's a guy's specialty, right? Then I got to kind of prepare myself. Okay, what does he do to set it up? How does he go about it? This way or whatever, right? But it still doesn't matter. That's what amazes me about kicks.
Yeah. I mean, look, like you said, if that's your specialty, the guy should come into the week knowing this guy, there's a chance he's going to do this. Sometimes it just catches you off guard, though.
Right.
That's that Leon Edwards one.
Like, but sometimes you get, here's the problem. Sometimes you get tired and you slip.
Yeah.
As Usman. Who is it? Usman got
Usman got yeah, that was at
dominating
the end.
The fight.
He dipped right into it.
And made one bad move and bam, out.
Lights out. Dude, I just sent you the flying.
Hold on. Let me look at it live.
This was Vinicius Oliveira.
Wait. Oh no, wait. I knew he was in trouble when he started running. Look.
Well, that guy, to be fair, I was watching back this fight because I was watching this before the Heat game on my laptop. And he was this dude, Sopa, I think was the guy's name. He was getting killed already.
Oh, okay.
And I think he was just trying to survive. And Oliveira was like, no, and chased him down with just a vicious flying knee.
Wow. That was Charles Oliveira?
No, Vinicius, I think is his name.
Okay.
Dude, can I just say something to all fighters out there? If you knock somebody out, don't go check on them. You was trying to knock their ass out.
It was a brutal one. He was just making sure he was all right.
I check with you after. Just like if you knock me out like that to where I'm on the ground, right, kissing canvas, right, like my face, I can't move my face, and I'm just on the ground like that. I ain't going to the middle of the ring to see you get your hand raised.
Well,
I'm going to recoup.
We'll talk to the man who had the call of that this weekend and is on the call this weekend for UFC 299 in Miami. Jon Anik, voice of the UFC. Talk to him coming up next.
WQA.
knows it better than I know myself. So
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. We'll go back into the Cats coming up at the top of the hour as they beat the New York Rangers yesterday. They are rolling right now. Heat back on the hardwood tonight. We are on Christian Wilkins' watch and all things Miami Dolphins. But, you know, we are very, very excited. This weekend is UFC 299 at the Kaseya Center. Leroy, have you seen Sean O'Malley has just revealed his kit for this fight, and he is for the Miami card wearing pink shorts, which I believe is a UFC first since they've had the uniforms. So he's going Miami Vice for the.
Punk? He had pink hair and he wore pink shorts.
I think you're thinking of Seth Petrozelli back in the day, dude. The guy who knocked out Kimbo.
What's his name? CK Punk.
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
No, I don't think CM Punk had. He didn't have pink hair, nor did he have pink.
Wait,
no.
Never did anything pink.
I'm telling you, the pink hair guy you're thinking of is the guy who knocked out Kimbo.
Oh, okay.
That was way back. Remember, Kimbo fought this guy Seth Petrozelli last minute, knocked him out, like ruined. I don't know if it was Elite XC or which promotion it was, but it all crumbled after that because Kimbo went down. Then Kimbo went on Ultimate Fighter. Let's all talk to a real expert. All right, let's go out to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line shop. Hundreds of Toyotas indoors and one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. The voice of the UFC, Jon Anik, will be on the call this weekend. UFC 299 at the Kaseya Center. John, do you remember Seth Petrozelli and his pink hair knocking out Kimbo Slice? Does that ring a bell?
Yes, and it was Elite XC, and that really flipped that promotion sideways because they had obviously huge expectations for Kimbo, and that was the last thing they were looking for was a last-minute replacement like Seth Petrozelli to come in and sort of knock out their cash cow. But you're breaking news to me on Sean O'Malley with the pink shorts. Anyone who watches the UFC regularly knows that for title fights, I'll say, you know, this dude's in blue and his opponent is in the black and gold befitting a champion. It sounds like I'm not going to have the chance to say that this weekend.
No, you might have to go. You might have to go with something with my advice. The UFC's Twitter account just tweeted it out, John. They said the Sugar Show is going pink. He will wear pink shorts for his first bantamweight title defense. Listen, he's a marketing man. He wants to go Miami Vice. Probably a smart move by Sean O'Malley.
And you know what's interesting? And he really has resonated with this fan base. And a big reason why is just his fighting style, right? When you hear my pay-per-view open this Saturday, part of the reason this guy is a big star, a huge part of the reason is because he knocks people clean out. Certainly on social media, he has a definite presence and he is quick of wit and he seems cerebral. But when he opens his mouth, he's not some great orator who has built up his brand by masterfully executing post-fight interviews. You know, he has a little bit of a squeaky voice. He's a little bit awkward, but everything else, right? The social media persona, the fighting style, the striking ability, that's why he's a star. And obviously we're all very curious to see what he can do with this Miami showcase this weekend.
Can't wait for it. I'm excited, with him and Chito. Obviously there's a past. How much do you look at that first fight, John? You know, Chito gets the win and very early in Sean's career, but obviously was hindered by something, foot, ankle, whatever the hell went on there. Does that resonate at all with you, that first matchup?
Well, it's hard to lean too much into it because not only were there not championship stakes, but it was happening in a COVID-19 climate at the UFC Apex, even though it was on a numbered pay-per-view card. It was in a 25-foot octagon with no fans in a very unique environment. So there were a lot of things about that fight that are not going to be simulated this weekend. But as Sean O'Malley sits here, 29 years of age, making his first UFC bantamweight title defense, if I were to say one concern to you guys about his ability to retain this title long term, it's not even so much about the ruthless nature of the division. It's just his relative durability or lack thereof. The Chito Vera fight was certainly not the first time in the octagon he has been injured. It's happened at least twice in the octagon. He's dealt with injuries like plantar fasciitis. And even when he beat Aljamain Sterling, and he beat him in the second round, he said after the fight that he went in there with an injured rib, and if he was forced to grapple at all, he was probably going to lose the fight. So even that fight, he went in injured. So Chito Vera is nothing if not durable, right? This is a guy who has 32 pro fights, has never been finished in the UFC. So there are certainly things working in Chito Vera's favor. I just think he is on the wrong end of the speed and power and athlete equation, and that's why Sean's a pretty significant favorite.
So, John, I am infatuated with how these guys get kicked in the face, right? It is the thing that amazes me the most. And I asked Tobin that why wouldn't you study how long a guy's legs are so you don't walk into a front kick or something like that? And these are two guys that have two of the longest legs that we've seen with the ability to kick. And you brought something up about now they're starting to measure that. I mean, how many people get knocked out before you start figuring out, hey, this guy got some long legs? How are they so good at this? How can they get away with this? Because it just, to me, if I'm fighting, and I know I'm gonna sound like an ignoramus by saying this. If I'm fighting a guy that has kicked 7 guys in the head, when I prepare for that fight, I'm gonna look at all the different methods he sets that kick up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the preparation part of it. And it's a good question, but a lot of that is easier said than done. Sean O'Malley is not a guy that you can necessarily simulate in training. He's an absolute sniper, right? You guys should see him shoot a basketball. And yes, we measure leg reach right now, but a lot of it is about just the ability to manage distance and range. And nobody, I think, for my money, was better at that than Conor McGregor. And I think Sean O'Malley has a lot of those skills, just athletically and otherwise, knowing how to manage distance. And the other thing too is offensively, if Chito Vera is trying to get things done, sometimes, you're mitigating risk, but sometimes you have to step in harm's way in order to get your own stuff done offensively. But certainly Sean O'Malley has a lot of different kicks in his arsenal, but I really think it's more about just the IQ, the shot selection, the fighting instincts, knowing when to throw it, switching up the tempo and the speed of your strikes, not to mention the location. Sean O'Malley's just a really, really good striker. And, I think Chito and Jason Perillo, his striking coach, have done their homework. But sometimes you can just be in there with a guy who's better.
John, two of my favorites on the card this weekend, Gilbert Burns and Dustin. Yes. We had Gilbert on last week, and he's talking about, like, look, somebody gave me my opportunity back in the day. That's kind of what this is, the cycle of the UFC. So 2 guys who are highly ranked, they're taking on, just 2 killing up and comers in Benoit Saint Denis and Jack Della Maddalena. Like, this almost makes me sad, John. Like, it feels like they're being told, oh, no, now you guys are gatekeepers. How much faith should I have that my guys can get it done in Dustin and Gilbert? Because I'm nervous about this weekend.
Well, there's upside to both of these fights. I mean, Dustin Poirier is fighting a guy in Benoit Saint Denis, who is a former French Special Forces operative, and he's the boogeyman of the lightweight division right now. So there have been times in the past where Dustin Poirier has said, I'm not really interested in a fight with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion Beneil Dariush, even though he has this long winning streak, because the fans aren't going to get excited. The fans are excited to see Dustin fight Benoit Saint Denis. Benoit Saint Denis has won 5 straight at lightweight. He's put them all away, and he's favored at a more than 2-to-1 clip to beat Dustin Poirier. So if Poirier goes out and beats Benoit Saint Denis, which he's more than capable of doing, I wouldn't be surprised to see his next fight be for the undisputed title. I know there are guys like Justin Gaethje that are above him right now, but Gaethje's got to fight with Max Holloway for the BMF belt at UFC 300. So there could be some real clarity for Poirier as far as a shot at the undisputed title. As far as Jack Della Maddalena and Gilbert Burns are concerned, Gilbert's 3-2 since he fought for the title. He's approaching, I think, 37 years of age, and he's fighting a guy not unlike Benoit Saint Denis, who has all of this UFC momentum and is all the rage with fight fans. Jack Della Maddalena, 6-0 in the UFC, last 2 wins by split decision, but he can strike, he can submit, he can do a lot of things well. And I think Gilbert, not unlike Dustin, just sees the upside in beating a guy like Jack Della Maddalena, even if he is ranked below him in the top 15, be the first guy to beat him in the UFC and immediately inject yourself back into the championship conversation. So I tend to scoff at those who suggest there's an upside in these guys winning these fights, and obviously the Gilbert Burns, Jack Della Maddalena betting line is a lot closer. We've seen money pour in on Benoit Saint Denis over the last 48 hours, which to a lot of people is crazy, right? We taped the Anik and Florian podcast yesterday. My handicapper and Kenny Florian both picked Dustin Poirier, and not just because he's plus 180, but all the betting money's going in the opposite direction. So this card is great. Like, I've been doing this 13 years, like, with respect to every other pay-per-view. This is like the deepest card I think I've ever been assigned.
No, it's an insane card. I can't believe, like, after years of us not getting it down here, we've now been spoiled because we had the return down here in Miami, and now we're getting like I mean, people were saying like this could even rival 300 with as far as the depth is concerned. These last 3 pay-per-views have been absolutely insane. I wonder with Dustin, because the thing that's so great about him, John, is like he'll take that first big shot. It's almost like when the fights are craziest, that's when he's best. Do you feel like he can afford that kind of style in a fight like this, or he's just got to be who he is?
It's a great question. I don't lean too much into his last loss to Justin Gaethje by head kick knockout as some sort of harbinger of things to come. Certainly it's hard not to consider all of the MMA miles that Dustin Poirier has, but Benoit Saint-Denis has been through hell, not just, of course, in his professional life as a French Special Forces operative, but Benoit Saint-Denis' UFC debut. He was up at 170 pounds on short notice. BSD was on the wrong side of one of the worst beatings in UFC history. Many people wondered aloud if he would ever be the same. So I think it stands to reason there could be durability issues on both sides if somebody lands a potentially concussive blow early on. Certainly 5 rounds, I think, for Dustin Poirier, just given his wealth of UFC experience, is something that favors him in the matchup. But I hate to like overstate this dude as like a French soldier, but I'm just telling you guys, like, he is undeniably special as athlete, as human being, as strong-willed individual. And it's all of those things that made this fight appetizing for Dustin Poirier. It's a fascinating fight. And yeah, it's going to be interesting early with a lot of those heavy weapons being exchanged.
John, how much should we make of Gilbert Burns not fighting in a very long time? Because I mentioned to him it was a blessing in disguise because the dude fought 3 times in like, what, 5 months? 6 months, and like he's getting older. How much was that time off needed and maybe helped him get ready for a fight like this?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I do stand corrected. He's already 37. He'll be 38 in July, and I don't have to tell you guys that mixed martial arts is a young man's game. But yeah, he fought 3 times last year, and they were all done by May 6th. Part of that was just jumping up for a short notice opportunity against Bilal Muhammad, which obviously did not go his way. But yeah, I think pushing the reset button, either by design or out of necessity because the right fight didn't materialize, was a good decision by Gilbert Burns. And I think it stands to reason that he's fresh. And I think he sees a lot of things in this matchup that he can exploit, you know, when it comes to his offensive wrestling and trying to take Jack Della Maddalena down. But as far as a championship trajectory for Gilbert Burns, I think we'll get all those answers as to whether or not he can still do it with this Jack Della Maddalena fight, you know, because Jack is, I mean, you got to laud the matchmakers. It really is the perfect fight at the perfect time for both guys. Like, Jack is not even yet at his fighting prime, and yet already looks like on any given Saturday night he could be the welterweight champion, you know. And a lot of these guys see Leon Edwards, the champion in their division, as a beatable guy and a good matchup for them. Now, Leon, I think, is on a tremendously different level than he was 2 or 3 years ago. But it's a huge, huge weekend for the welterweight division. And if Gilbert can put away a guy like this, it'll open everything back up.
John, I guess just what the hell's going on with Bilal Muhammad? What did this guy do that he's not getting lined up for the shot? All the stuff with 300, there were 3 guys offered to Leon Edwards. I don't get it, man. Like, what, you know, he's, and it's not, you know, people will say, oh, the entertainment factor. He's had some really, really impressive performances his last couple times out. What does he got to do?
Well, so he's not a fan favorite. I think that's probably the only thing that you could knock, is that he does have this legion of haters, and I think he has leaned into it a little bit. But I feel pretty convicted saying on your robust airwaves that Bilal Muhammad will be next to fight for the undisputed UFC welterweight title. Basically, the reason why it was reported that other guys were offered that fight for UFC 300 and not Bilal is because I think if Leon Edwards is going to fight and defend his title at UFC 300, the B side of that title fighter, the other guy in that fight, has to be a driver when it comes to the pay-per-view and overall fan interest. And even though you and I, BT, can talk about how exciting and offensive Bilal Muhammad is, for one reason or another, maybe his style is not everybody's cup of tea, but he can strike, he can wrestle, he can do it all. Informed speculation tells me that in the month of June, Bilal Muhammad is going to challenge Leon Edwards for the title, and that will be a main event, and it might even happen in England. But gosh, man, I feel really confident that even though it seems like they've been prioritizing other guys and even offering other guys that fight, Dana White's guarantees are pretty ironclad, and he has come out and said that Bilal's going to be next, and Merab Dvalishvili is going to be next for whoever wins this weekend with Sean O'Malley and Chito Vera. And I am a betting man. I would bet you any amount of money that Bilal will be next, even though it doesn't seem like the noise suggests that that's going to happen.
Talking to Jon Anik, he'll be on the call this weekend. UFC 299 at the Kaseya Center. Cannot wait. John, just thinking back to last year, you know, many years had gone by before Miami got a card again. Do you remember what that atmosphere was like, and how excited are you again to, you know, you're a South Florida guy, adopt this as your kind of second home. How excited are you to get it back down here in South Florida?
I mean, how do we top it is my only question. It was absolutely deafening in there. It was festive all week. It just kind of felt like it took over the town. And it's a hard town to take over, right? There's certain places we go and there isn't necessarily much going on. And it feels like there's nothing but the UFC in the city. But then to have it end with that result, one of the more historically relevant knockouts in UFC history with Israel Adesanya getting Alex Pereira, it just felt like it was perfect. And they knew they needed to somehow do anything they could to up the ante. So one of the top two promotional superstars right now, I mean, if you consider Conor McGregor, I would say Sean O'Malley is no worse than number 3 in terms of moving all needles. They knew they had to come correct. So they got Sean O'Malley headlining in Miami. I guess what I wonder is that they have a deal with Salt Lake City where they go back to back to back 3 pay-per-views in as many years. I have no inside information as to whether or not that's the reality with Miami. But I just hope that this tremendous sports market appreciates how rare it is for a domestic market to get pay-per-views in back-to-back years. So I'm excited to hit, rubber to pavement on Wednesday and not have to get in a metal tube for this one.
I got the goosies so much. Like, I'm driving down to the Heat game on Saturday. I see the big billboard is like right there as you're getting off to go to the Heat game. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is. I don't take it for granted, John. Like, the layoff killed me. I was like, oh my God, we're never going to get it again. So to see that still even up there with those guys, and the poster, like right as the building as you're getting to the Heat game, I was so excited for it. I cannot wait for Saturday night.
No, it's going to be great. And you wondered if maybe us going to Jacksonville and Tampa and Orlando somehow was hurting Miami. Like, I never got any answers as to why there was a 20-year gap. Maybe because they thought they needed to blow it out if LeBron James was going to show up or something. But hopefully we're back next year too. But I expect people to be loud and proud here Saturday night.
Well, if you guys aren't going to be in the building, ESPN Plus pay-per-view is where you guys can watch it. Jon Anik, we always appreciate the time. Thank you so much. And
thanks, John.
Looking forward to the week.
Thank you, brothers. Always a pleasure. We'll see you soon.
There you go. Jon Anik. Hey, you guys can hear him on the call.
Everybody in the fight game call you BT?
I don't know what that. Yeah, I don't know.
They all do. Every time I've heard you talk to one of your guys in MMA is BT. It ain't happening. No. Frog Boy, what do you think?
Yes.
BT?
Yeah, that's strange. I do hear that BT. What I want to know though is, I wanted to ask John, but I didn't want to embarrass our friend because I know how he does with the fight game. Does he know that this? What was it? Fat stupid idiot, I believe Sean O'Malley said.
Oh, does he know about the beef?
Yeah, does he know about the beef?
I don't know.
I mean,
I tried to get Sean. I asked the UFC. I said, "Hey, can we get a bunch of guys on here?" And they gave me because we've had Sean on before a couple of times.
Yeah, for sure.
But they gave us Chito, which is cool. Chito was awesome. I love talking to Chito. He was sitting in the birds, and the birds were chirping in his back by his giant ass sauna in the backyard. But I can't wait for this week, man. It's gonna be fun.
It's pretty amazing that, like, if they come down here, they do it big. They don't just put average fights.
Which is what you got to do.
I appreciate that. Don't just put a card down here. It almost seems like, hey, we're going to Miami. We got to do it big.
Absolutely.
And they've always done that. And that's really cool.
People doing it big right now. Your Florida Panthers. We celebrate them coming up next.
1-800-442-5524 for details.
Heat fans, if you guys want to go to Heat Nuggets coming up next Wednesday at the Kaseya Center, Heat Nuggets next Wednesday at the Kaseya Center, caller number 3 to the contest line, 305-567-0560. 305
Professional athlete or not,
You're taking all the sunshine away, making out like you're mainline. I knew that. 'Cause you're a cool
welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 o'clock. Thanks again to Jon Anik for joining the program. So nice. We might play that twice.
Oh, it was a good interview, though.
That was a good interview, dude.
Good interview, dude.
Let's get to some cat talk here, everybody. Friends, cat family. Your cats are rolling right now. Florida Panthers, they win yesterday 4-2 over the stupid New York Rangers, and they just remain on top of the NHL. That is they have just completely flipped it on everybody. They are killing everybody. Doesn't matter. They got a brick wall between the pipes. They're defending like demons. They'll fight you, and then they score a whole lot of goals thanks to Sam Reinhart, who him and Aleksander Barkov yesterday. Just, I mean, like it was beautiful to see the communication and the chemistry between these two guys. Barkov putting the puck on his stick, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Leroy very excited. He's got his Galaxy vibe.
I opened one for this, and I left it in the other room, so I just ran and got it. So that's why I went and got up.
Here was Aleksander Barkov yesterday, because our Cat Talk is always brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius a party to play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers.
Here's Barky.
No, I saw where he's going, so I knew he's gonna go there, and I saw him going there, so it was I was able to make the play there.
Just describe the level of concentration that takes to make that play.
I think just going into the NHL game in Madison Square Garden, you're concentrated. So you don't. This is like one of those places where you don't need that extra motivation. You come here like New York and most famous arena, so it's always fun to play here. No matter what. Like this is it.
How big a win was this for you guys, given the standings?
Yeah, it's huge. Like for us, it's about building our game and trying to play the right way and trying to find every game some things to get better at and work on them in the practice or video or whatever. So I think it was a solid game by us and like good defensively, good offensively.
Yeah, I'd say so, Barky.
You know what is funny? It's no matter how the season has gone, they all have had the same message, right? They've said the same things pretty consistently all year about playing the right way, about doing things a certain way. Then you ask Bobrovsky, the defense in front of us, we're going after pucks, we're where we're supposed to be. So it all seems like everybody's on the same page because no matter who you ask, the message is the same from everybody.
Ryan Lomberg, he had the go-ahead game-winning goal for the Cats yesterday. The Lamborghini after the win.
Still shocked. I think it's crazy. He doesn't even understand how sick it was. He's so nonchalant that to him, is just like another assist because that's how he carries himself. But being able to watch that live and seeing the team's reaction, it was pretty sweet goal.
Like you said, you guys see him do crazy stuff in practice all the time, but even when it happens in games, it's a little surprising, kind of catches you off guard.
I mean, how many times do you see a guy, touch it out of the air over defender and then one touch, two touch backdoor tap, and it's a pretty special play. Pretty cool to see.
Do you think that can energize you whenever, after that, you guys, 3-1?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's our captain, he's our leader, so when he's pushing the pace like that, boys have no choice but to follow.
Do you have any recall on that, Leroy, of anybody who you played with that was so gifted? I know you talk about it with Randy, but just were they nonchalant about their greatness? Because Barky's yeah, whatever. I'm like, what do you mean whatever? What, did you just see what you did?
Randy was one of those people in that it was so effortless, right? Like him catching a ball looked like it was just, like you talk about. Him going up and catching the ball with one hand. Chris Carter could do that too. Chris Carter could catch a ball with one hand. I was more amazed at guys like Eric Metcalf and Robert Smith because I couldn't understand why it was so hard for me to run in general, and they just looked so smooth. And it was because they ran track. And when you run track, it's not that you learn how to run, you learn how to breathe. You learn how to stride. You learn how to, and in fact, run more efficiently. And I was just trying to get from point A to point B. So, I found out after my 7th year, I did one of those tests where they take you to I don't know if it's a Gatorade test or something. They put you on a machine, they hook you up to a whole bunch of stuff, and you sprint on a machine. After all those years of football, I realized, and they told me, whenever you run full speed, you hold your breath.
Crazy.
I was like, that would explain why I'm so damn tired.
Wow. Is it because you're bracing? You're used to running while bracing for impact?
No, it's because I never ran track, so I never learned how to run and breathe. It's like swimmers. Swimmers have the ungodly ability to be able to do what they do while controlling their breathing or timing it. So you know what I mean? So they're not exhausted while they swim. Same thing with distance runners. They pace themselves. I never learned how to do that. I was just a run from point A to point B guy. And when I got exhausted, I took a break. But everybody thought, based on the way I ran, hey, you need to be in better shape. I'm like, dude, in the offseason, I could run my ass off. Ain't nobody chasing me.
What about, I mean, Marcos, you a star athlete of the lava. We've seen your game. Did you find yourself to breathe correctly on your buckets?
Yeah, see, the thing about me, I've learned how to breathe. I'm still trying to figure out running, though. Not really sure how that's done, but I got the breathing down pat. Watch this. Wow.
No, that ain't, dude.
It's almost like you're tasting the air.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
Use my tongue as
you're not. It's easy to breathe when you're not running.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't combine.
I'm not talking about like us sitting here going through breathing exercises and yes, no, do that after you've been hit 5 times and then you got to run a sprint. It has a different. Breathing is the last thing on your mind.
That's another thing that pisses me off about Christian Wilkins being on, because I love the way that he's able to run after everybody when all the other fat guys are tired.
So true.
But that's the other thing. Like, that is a skill in itself. That motor at that position. I've said that from day one. People don't understand it. Like, first of all, they got on him about not getting sacks, but he had 100 tackles. A D tackle with 100 tackles is sick. So they put the emphasis on sacks. So then he almost got 10 sacks, right? Yep. So that should tell you, why don't we just let him play and pay him? And he's going to be better than anything we're going to be able to get on the open market.
Here is Paul Maurice after the Cats 4-2 win.
As the game went on, which we really liked. Some similarities to our last game, a special team, the power play goal that got us to even was really important because we seemed to have better legs after that. But I thought we built as the game went on. By the time we got to the third period, I thought we looked the way we like to look, and I thought our speed was right. We got to skating then.
You mentioned that power play goal. What was your perspective on what Aleksander Barkov did to help set up Sam?
It's like most of the things with him, you got to go back and watch it on video because you just don't appreciate it live. I don't know what I got to say. I mean, the running joke is that we work on that in practice in the coach's office, but we don't. So pretty amazingly gifted young man.
Yeah, I'd say so. He's good. Some more headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy a truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Heat back on the hardwood tonight, taking on the Detroit Pistons. Tyler Hero, Kevin Love going to miss this game. Tyler is dealing with a foot injury. Kevin Love is dealing with a heel injury. 7:30 tip-off from the Kaseya Center. Heat are 11.5-point favorites. We will get more into this coming up in 15 minutes of Heat, as we have some people calling into question the Heat franchise's character. This will be addressed next.
By Miami Lakes Auto Mall, Kendall Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, home of the $8,000 trade. KendallDodgeChryslerJeepRam.com.
15 minutes of heat here for you. 560 WQAM.
Well, hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Jennifer.
Salutations.
Hello.
20 after.
It is 20 after. Faster than yesterday.
Yeah. Frog juice.
Frog juice, guys.
By the way, we just learned via DET South, frogs can breathe through their skin. Didn't know that.
Yep.
Didn't know that. Very cool.
Kind of hard to breathe through your nose with that tongue stuffed in your mouth.
Yep. It is a bit of an issue. One that I think my son shares because he be snoring.
Oh, man. Adorbs. Baby snores are adorable.
It is adorable.
Those are cute.
Oh, adorable. You're
My
crazy.
first night of not snoring because of my nose.
Yep.
So yesterday, by the way, congratulations to Erik Spoelstra. He was named Eastern Conference Coach of the Month.
Oh, I'm sure he's just living that up.
I bet you he's framing that on his wall. It's got to be such an honor for. You know what's funny about it? I saw a bunch of Celtics fans like really mad, enraged that Joe Mazzulla got passed over for Coach of the Month, which is funny for a couple reasons. One, you chowder heads couldn't stand the guy last year. You wanted him run out. Horford's coaching the team. He's not even a coach, Mazzulla. And now all of a sudden you're worried about him getting
right.
Now you're worried about him
getting
snubbed for a monthly award.
You know what is coming? It's going to happen down here with Tua and Mike McDaniel next year.
Perhaps.
No, it's going to happen. This is what people do. And old frog boy, we're going to see him every day, right? And is he going to say, "Oh man, I was way off"? Nope. He going to just keep moving the bar.
Well, speaking of moving the bar and chowder heads, you guys familiar with Bill Simmons?
Oh, God. What about this guy?
To Boston.
Exactly. That's him.
Was he here
guy.
on the show? Wow. I thought I heard him.
So Bill Simmons, he had his podcast with Ryan Russillo, which is just awful listening. But if you guys like to be angry, you guys could check that out. But Bill Simmons was beside himself this week because he's afraid. He's a fearful man. He knows what's coming. The Miami Heat are rounding into form. And I mean, they honestly could bounce the Celtics in the second round at this pace. You know, you don't really. It may not even get to the Eastern Conference Finals for the Celtics this year, which is what has him nervous. But Bill Simmons, this is his latest take of the Miami Heat. He thinks that everything that they have done in this era is pure luck.
Here's my hottest take for you, Russillo. The Heat are fucking lucky. This Jacquez thing, it's so upsetting.
This isn't even a hottest
the draft
take.
again.
This is Bill gets pissed.
No, so they get Hero because they win a coin flip with Boston. They get Bam at 14 because the moron Portland Trailblazers trade 2 picks to move up to 10, and they take Zach Collins instead of Bam. And then Kennard goes to the Pistons 12. Bam falls to 14. They get Rozier for barely anything. They get Butler because Portland helps them twice. Portland's stupid. They're like, yeah, we'll take Hassan Whiteside so you can fit Butler in your cap. Cool. And then they get Jacquez when the Lakers, who he's playing at UCLA, he's 5 feet away and he's ready to play. He's ready to be in a rotation. Like, I like the point guard they took from Indiana. Yeah, I know he has potential, but you have LeBron, he's 39. You need to get somebody in that draft who can play now, and they just pass on him and they end up with him, and it makes me mad. But all of it's luck.
This doesn't sound like.
If I may.
Hey, everyone's like Heat culture. You know what the Heat culture is? Luck.
Go ahead, Leroy.
If I may, Bill Simmons doesn't have a problem with the Heat. it sounds like he really hates the Portland Trailblazers because they're a terrible organization. Because all of these decisions are what Portland did. So don't blame the Heat because they got Portland, right? What did he say about the draft? Portland traded up. He ended up with so-and-so.
Coin flip Tyler Hero.
Portland took Whiteside.
Yeah.
The Heat ended up with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
It sounds like you have a bigger problem with Portland and not the Miami Heat.
Well, let's not, if I wanted to go tit for tat with this bum, which I don't, we could just talk about, your only championship over the Heat's existence was because two GMs were in cahoots because they were former Celtics. Like, it's the only reason the Garnett trade happened. If I wanted to do that, but you want to know something? I'm not even mad at this clip. It makes me happy. I love the fact that this loser sits there in his little NBA dungeon and copes and tries to figure out how the Heat keep doing it and how they keep finding themselves in this position.
That sounds like, Tobes? Sounds like somebody is living rent-free.
Hey, I'm just enjoying it right here in Lil Willie's brain. What's the matter, Bill? Oh, you're upset they got Jacquez? Oh, it was just luck. Sure. Whatever you want to say, Lil Willie. You want to say that it's luck? You want to say it's chance? You want to say none of this, the Heat deserve no credit for it? Who gives a rat's ass? You can sit there and you can think of all the reasons why it's happening. The reasons it's happening doesn't matter. All that matters is it's happening, dude. You're going to have this historically great Celtics season. You're going to have all the three-point shots. You got Porzingis and you got Drew Holiday from the Bucks because the Blazers were in cahoots because they weren't going to trade with the Miami Heat. So you got Drew Holiday on a bargain. Hey, good for you guys. No one's sitting here and whining in Heatland. You want to know why? Because the inevitable is happening. And Jimmy Butler is going to bounce you guys again. And yeah, you could sit here and say that Pat Riley has a horseshoe straight up his you-know-what, but it doesn't matter because Pat Riley could have a horseshoe, a rabbit's foot, a four-leaf clover. My man's sitting comfortable in his Armani pants. Meanwhile, you're sitting there in your dirty ones. So don't worry about it, Bill. Call it luck. Call it chance. Call it fate. Call it whatever you want. It's still Heat in 5. It's still Heat in 5, you bum.
Can I just say this?
Sure.
You back a lot of people into a corner that have more to do with the outcome than you.
What do you mean?
You're talking a lot of trash for a team that you don't make no buckets for.
Because this guy's sitting here.
I'm just saying that like I'm not. See, you're deflecting.
I'm not deflecting.
I'm talking about you.
I'm not deflecting.
You're
I'm
talking about
delighted.
a whole bunch.
I'm pickled.
Okay, but you're talking a lot of trash about a situation that will play itself out.
Dude, listen, I love you to death. You're close. We're friends. I can't play everything out. I can't be like, hey, you know what, Bill? We'll get to this take in March. We'll get to this take in April. We'll get to this take in May.
I don't mean like we could go over the take, but all right.
I'm not, listen.
Because all I get is, oh my God, I'm a hater, and I don't feel like
I'm not even hating. If I wanted to be,
not you. I'm raining on everybody's parade. Blah, 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 blah. Forget being real. Let's just all live in this little dream world where we can skip the do. And yeah, go ahead.
Great. Now, all I want to say is, Lil Willie.
Just go right back to it.
All I want to say is, I'm glad that you're trying to come up with some measure for the reason this is all happening, other than Jimmy Butler just being better than your two players. It's fine. It's fine. Just because you have a guy in Jason Tatum who has the personality of a wall and seemingly doesn't go to the basket as hard as Jimmy Butler and always seems to flop against Jimmy Butler. And then you have old Lefty McGee over there who trolls himself in a dunk contest and needs 2 attempts to jump over a dwarf. That's okay, dude. It's okay. You sit there, you come up with that, call it fate, call it lottery, whatever. I don't care. because all that matters is you're going to end up looking like this yet again this season. Yet again, you're going to look with this stupid look on your face like you did in Game 7 in your precious garden, watching the Miami Heat bounce your stupid Celtics, and you'll come up with another reason next year, whatever that may be. You'll say it's luck. You'll say, oh, you know, the referees, they had it in for whatever. I don't care. You can come up with whatever reasons you want to because you know it's not the truth. You know you're coping because we could go. You guys had Duncan Robinson in for a workout. You know that, right? Duncan Robinson. You guys sit here and talk about Jacquez. This Duncan Robinson, he was a Sully and Murph. He came in for a workout. Where were you guys to pick him off the scrap heap? Where were you? Where were you, Boston? Oh, that's right. Because you don't have the luck that the Heat does. That's right. You don't have the luck that the Heat does. Where were you? But it's all luck. Culture, purely chance. Purely just hocus pocus. The Heat have no credit to do with this. That's fine. Good. Doesn't matter. All right? You can sit back and enjoy the show. You can think that it's all bogus. You can think this is wrestling. Lil Willie, I don't care. You know, people go to WrestleMania every single year entertained as hell. I know I'm going to be entertained as hell when the lucky Heat beat the Boston Celtics in 5 this year. That's okay. You sit there. You think whatever you got to think. Enjoy your little Sunday Warriors win by 50. It all is a lie. Like Erik Spoelstra said, you haven't faced the truth once this year. And so what do? You lash out like a child. It's like a child. Oh, little Billy, he gets lucky that he gets all the breaks and I get no breaks. Yeah, okay, sure. Tell yourself whatever you're going to tell yourself, Peter Pan.
Little Willie is my favorite. I'm not going to lie to you. That is the most disrespectful
face. Look at that Lil Willie face.
Willie.
He's a look. He's a look.
He's a hater, dude.
He is an A1 hater, but you want to know something? He's more of an A1 coward. That's what he is. He's a coward, and that's fine. You figure out whatever reasons that you have, but you're going to have to face your fear one day, Bill. And the problem is that the same result's going to happen, and you'll have to think of something else. You'll call it witchcraft. I don't know. You'll come up with a new reason next year as to why the Celtics didn't win the championship this year and the Heat continue to own you. That's fine.
You'll use the refs.
What do you mean I'm going to use the refs?
Just what I said.
No, Bill.
That's your go-to thing. No. Bill's going to have something too, but they both kind of do the same thing.
Oh, excuse me? What did you say?
You both kind of do the same thing.
No, we don't.
Like,
Wait,
all the reasons.
Really? We do the same. How so? How so?
Wow.
How so?
Oh, no.
How so?
I'm going to tell you.
How so?
That's disrespectful.
Whenever your team loses, it's always something other than the play on the field, on the court.
No, it's not true.
Really, you come out guns a-blazing about the officiating.
If it's warranted.
It always seems to be warranted.
Really?
When's the last time you got on and say, you know what, the Heat lost it today? They
did it in the finals with the Nuggets. Did it in the finals with the Nuggets.
You complained about game 2 and said,
well, atrocious. I mean, like, it's ridiculous what happened in game 3 with the
wait, you're doing it.
We're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk like that was a fairly officiated game. It was not. Wait, all right. And don't even
is he not sitting here making my point for me?
Don't even get me started on game 4 with the crookedness that went out there. In fact, as I saw the referees walk by to the locker room, I'm pretty sure I saw one of them with a Rockies pair of underpants on. So, what's fair, when I call it out and it needs to be called out, that's when I'll do it. But I would never say, like, if somebody warranted credit, nobody gives more credit than old Tobes, especially to the opposition.
Oh my God. Really? You really doing this right now?
Yeah.
Because you are Miami Bill Simmons.
Okay, dude. You don't want to know something? I'm going to give you a few seconds to take that back. I'm going to give you a few seconds that you're lashing out, and I don't like what you're doing right now, and quite frankly, I'm offended.
Wow, he's calling you a bum.
No. I'm not calling him a bum. I'm saying the excuses that Bill Simmons uses You use different excuses, but you still excuses.
I haven't used excuses. What
You
excuses
do.
have I
Every
used?
time he loses, every time, Dill Simmons.
I don't like pickles.
Every time the Heat lose, it's officiating.
Not true.
Oh my.
Not true.
Okay.
Not true.
All right.
Not true.
Okay.
Not true.
Okay.
I mean, the end of that last Nuggets game, I mean, like, it's ridiculous. They don't even know what the hell they're doing out there. 3 blind mice is what they should call them. But this charlatan bum, this carnival barker, Bill Simmons.
He's got excuses lined up too.
Ridiculous.
Sometimes the other team's better. Not for you two. But sometimes the other team is better. Get Bill on the show. No.
Never. Bum.
Gross. Don't want to infect our airwaves.
How can we get him on the show? How could a bum who lives next to a flaming barrel of garbage, how can that guy connect to a radio show? It's a ridiculous question.
Because he has face hair.
With a little can? The string?
That face hair? Look at this
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that's true.
He looks disheveled. That's what he looks like. That's what you want me to look like? I don't want to look like
No,
that.
that's how you look after the Heat lose.
Not how I look.
That is one of my favorite pictures, though.
He just looks so
It's so
sad.
good.
Wait, he just looks so sad.
Can we tell Micah
see that in
McCullough
his eyes?
tell Micah McCullough to sell that on a shirt?
Oh, put that on a shirt.
That'll go like hotcakes.
I'd buy.
Coming up next,
Bill Simmons.
the damage is done, my friend.
upon the damage done.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Hey, today it is Heat Ticket Blitz Tuesday. Every hour now until 6 p.m. giving away a pair of tickets to see the Heat host the Nuggets on March 13th at the Kaseya Center. Keep listening. Still got to give away our pair for this hour, as we will get to that coming on up, and other things along the way as well. Let's get to our favorite Tuesday game, which we typically do at the 11 o'clock hour, but Jon Anik joined us there, so we pushed it back an hour. The damage is done, my friend.
The damage is done, my friend.
Go around the room, say where the damage has been done, and you guys get the game by now. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. Starting with Leroy, who's late for this segment. Damage is done, my friend.
Damage is done, dude. You think he left
He's
another
just getting more
Celsius?
Celsius.
Damage is done, my friend.
He went
that could be it.
sitting here. He's calling me Bill Simmons. Maybe he's Bill Simmons.
Oh,
You know?
that was messed up. That's like calling you Chris Sims or something.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You know what? Maybe I'll forgive him by the end of the show, but right now I haven't. Here's my damage is done for today. You guys familiar with Anthony Edwards?
I've heard of him, indeed.
Star of the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was late for yesterday's game. Now, it's not like he was late at the arena.
Yeah.
He was in the arena. He was warming up, and yet wasn't there for tip-off because he says, quote, I lost track of time.
No way, dude.
What?
Lost track of time.
Hey,
There's no way.
I got one worse
time.
for you.
My friend.
I got one worse for you. So my rookie year, when we were 3-13, we were playing the Cincinnati Bengals. It was the year they went to the Super Bowl that year. It was down here. And it was the last game of the season. And the second half started. Cincinnati, we had already kicked the ball off. Cincinnati was on the line of scrimmage. And then our whole defense comes running through the tunnel. And it was all the way on the other end. And so Cincinnati waited. And waited. And then soon as they put their hands down, ran a play for like 20 yards.
Man.
That's what happens when you're 3-13.
He was asked, people were wondering, was there a Paul Pierce situation? John Krasinski, who covers the Minnesota Timberwolves, he said, Ant did not have to go number 2. I asked. Said he lost track of time. A lot going on for him right now. I think he's a new dad as well. So Anthony Edwards, hey, can you relate, Marcos? A new baby at home. You don't know which way is up or down. You know, he just lost track of time.
That definitely does happen, especially when
But not once you get there, though, Marcos.
No, that's crazy. The fact that
that's like
you got
saying
to work already.
You went to work and then you went in the back or something and you BSing with another employee and you forget that the headline is about to start.
He probably thought like, oh, they're not going to start without me. I'm Anthony Edwards. I'm Ant-Man.
But is it technical, right?
No, he just started the game. He just started the game.
No, I think it's a technical. If
No,
you
he-
don't start with the starting lineup that you announce,
I don't know. I didn't see any reports that they got a technical foul for it. He did check in like 30 seconds into the game,
yeah.
but it was not a poop emergency, according to Ant-Man.
Right.
But either way, damage is done, my friend. Whatever the reason was, he wasn't there to start.
Damage is done, my friend.
What do you got, Leroy?
So I'm gonna tell a public story. One that we might all have witnessed, but it's a thing. I had a couple little items, little toiletries or whatever to, pack because I'm leaving right after work. I get into the express line. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. I'm good, So some deodorant, mouthwash, and whatever. Just knickknacks. Person in front of me has more than 10, but no big deal. Like I've gone with 11 or 12. I'm not making a big deal.
You're not quibbling.
Right. Go through, doom. Then pulls out a handful of coupons.
Oof.
And we have to sit there for 15 minutes while they try to identify all these coupons.
No, you got to save a buck.
And the lady looks back at me and says, I am so sorry. No, you're not. Like, stop it. The damage is done. I said, I got 3 things I'm trying to get in and out. I get in the express lane and coupons.
That is not express.
And yeah, that's not express.
As someone who used to work in Publix,
There is no rule
I
for
felt
coupons.
this.
There's no rule for coupons in the express lane.
Listen,
if you know you're going to waste that much time, I suggest going to a different lane or or telling the cashier beforehand that you're going to be taking up some other time because you have coupons. And if you know you're going to take up time, might as well let the person in front of and behind you go in front.
I'm the only person in line behind her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is, you know,
No
what?
self-checkout at your Publix?
They
that one didn't have it. They have self-checkout at
That's
a lot
you.
of them. That one doesn't have it.
Love a self-checkout.
Oh, self-checkout is the worst too, because the old people get in the self-check line and then fruit.
You just got to look it up. You got to weigh it.
They don't know that.
I don't know how to do that.
No.
They also have stickers on them sometimes.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know. He's right.
It's oranges. I'm like, you might as well open a cash register instead of having self-checkout, because all people see is a short line and they're like, I'll figure it out as I go.
How much did she save?
Yeah, that's important.
Dude.
Oh, she saved a lot.
Dude.
I mean, like, there's a number where it was worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
No,
Everyone has a number.
She only bought products that her coupons had. So it doesn't even matter if she needs them, because 2 weeks from now, she's going to be in customer service, slowing that line up again, trying to return stuff she got a deal.
2 weeks? No, she'll things in her car and then come back.
Oh,
it's like one per person.
You guys make fun of me, but I'm telling you that Publix is no joke.
I don't.
And
understand.
I guess
change Publixes.
Wait, no. Here's the deal. Let me correct myself. I'm guessing it's all supermarkets that have the same thing going, but I only go to Publix. So that's why my stores are all Publix.
Well, it's become a big thing now because, well, it's been a thing, but there's also a movie that came out recently on, I think, Netflix.
Oh, that movie with the lady that got in trouble? Kristen Bell, she was printing out coupons.
I saw it yesterday in the little preview thing.
True story.
It gave me a PTSD.
What's okay?
She
You guys just
printed
said
out
Kristen Bell and
coupons.
coupons. Like, what happened?
He was printing out coupons.
Oh, I didn't know. I just saw like the preview.
They were printing out coupons and they were making a killing,
selling the coupons.
And they got caught.
Great.
But
the guy don't mind if you save money, but people abuse of coupons for sure.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody abuse coupons. I think you guys.
Well, I used to work with this whole situation back then when I was in college. So yes,
I can't remember the last time I saw somebody use a coupon in front of me.
In the area you live, is it younger or older?
Older. A very old Publix.
Oh my goodness. They can't. What are they going to escort me out for? Like, I think here's the funny thing. You can call me a Karen if I'm being unreasonable. But I've never had a complaint.
You're being a little unreasonable here. Like, Gertrude wants to use it. She wants to save $7, and you're like, all right. You're not even gonna be old. You're not even gonna live long enough to enjoy that $7, old lady.
Except for the fact that it's the express lane.
Dude, that doesn't matter.
Yes,
like,
it
express
does.
lane.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
no,
it does.
No, it doesn't. Specifically, the express lane is only express by the number of items, not the speed of which you spend.
I can see.
Because I can tell you something right now.
If you come in my Publix, I'm kicking your ass.
I'll tell you something right now.
Don't come in my Publix.
First of all, I'm very mad at you.
Don't come in my Publix.
Very mad at you for what you called me this hour. And second of all, let me tell you something right now. I know a thing or two about Leroy Horde. If that happened in the standard aisle, you still give an old lady the business.
That's true, actually. That's true. He's definitely
pretty true. It's pretty true.
But can we just know what we're gonna do and be prepared to do it?
She's old,
right? Like, she brings all of the stuff up and then she reaches down in this big ass purse and then pulls out the coupons. Have the coupons ready.
When I used to work there, people would come with binders.
Yes.
And little clear protection things.
So they have like Sunday cutting coupon day.
Yeah, people are very dedicated to this.
You wait. Oh, can I just say this? I've been down here since 1992. Right? I've never used a coupon, and I've never returned anything to Publix. You know why?
Why?
Because I buy what I'm gonna eat.
Oh,
but obviously not at a discount.
Good
When was the last time you used a coupon, you jackass?
I've used some CVS coupons. You know, they got
CVS. I didn't say CVS. I said Publix.
You just
'cause
said
that's
coupon.
where I shop.
You didn't say. So you just said when have I used a coupon?
And yeah, I have a hard time believing you saved the coupon to bring it to CVS.
Oh yeah.
Did D send you with that coupon?
Was it from the receipts?
Yeah, of
course. Long ass receipt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You actually look on the back of that receipt that's this long at CVS.
Wait, I literally bought one thing the other day, and look how long.
Yes,
receipt is.
look at that. One thing.
Looks like a lot of savings to me.
A lot of coupons.
Tobin, you are a liar.
One thing.
Hold on. No, we are not getting past this. You guys look at Tobin. You tell me he went to CVS with a coupon, and we believe this. We believe this.
$3 off.
$3 off, dude.
Look at that.
I think you're getting milk for free.
Hold on. You guys didn't answer my question.
Yeah.
Tobin. We all know Tobin. That's our guy.
That's our guy.
You're telling me you believe he went into CVS with a coupon.
Look at him with that face line.
You know,
adorable.
Yeah.
Honest.
You know what that is? That's a face of a liar.
Face only his mother could love.
So adorable.
Y'all believe this?
Yeah, I think he did it.
J Fig, what do you got
it.
for damages done today?
Well,
oh my goodness. I can't believe you falling for this. You fall for it all the time.
It's the honest Tobes face.
it's adorable.
He's dancing.
Well,
Sucker.
last year around this time, it was spring break, guys.
Oh yeah.
Was it?
They're closing up stuff down here at spring break again.
Well, let me tell you, since they damaged everything last year, the damage has been done. And
Damage
now
is done.
Miami is trying to get people off our beach with midnight curfews, a DUI checkpoint. Well, many checkpoints, $100 parking rates, and beach access closed at 6 p.m.
Damn.
What?
I feel
How
like
do
I
you
see
feel
most.
about this? Do you feel like this is gonna save Miami? Is this gonna help
No,
Miami's
well,
situation?
my first thing was, isn't most of the spring break shenanigans, they feel like they happen in the daytime. Like every time I see these Instagram videos of brawls or
Well, there's
whatever's
a couple
going down,
fights the
It's
other
sunny
day,
as hell. It's sunny
usually,
as hell.
it's usually
Middle
in the
of the day.
sun. I don't see
But
see
then a lot of
shenanigans
things
happening
happen
at night.
also at night.
You know what? Here's what I hate. Okay? You can't like the additional income or the additional money that comes to your city and then complain about it. Right? Spring break is down here because all of the businesses and stuff down there want the additional revenues. Okay?
But
Find
sometimes-
a way to make it work. Right? I don't know how. But
But Leroy, people don't know how to behave. They come to Miami with this mentality, and everything goes to garbage.
Yes. Then don't have spring break down
basically,
here.
there's restaurants that have stuff being broken. There's windows that get broken. So what are you really earning if you have to use that money that you're earning to repair your shop?
Then don't have spring break down here.
I mean,
what they're trying to do.
How could you make spring break like everyone's going to come to Miami? The place is awesome.
I remember when I first came down here, remember they had the hurricane in the Panhandle because it used to be in the Panhandle, and they had it at Fort Lauderdale for like 4 or 5 years.
I feel like spring breaks. Well, Fort Lauderdale's still doing the spring break.
No, they go back up to the Panhandle now.
The Panhandle's far, man. There's got to be some people who
No,
want to come
not for
down here.
people going to spring break.
What's the weather in the Panhandle right now? Is it even warm?
It's probably slightly more
70s?
chillier than it is
Yeah,
down
7
here.
degrees in Pensacola right now.
Was it
67?
That's nice.
Yeah,
Not
but
exactly
not to be on the beach.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not exactly swimming weather, but
It's absolutely
65.
not
Oh,
until mid-April.
The surf has to be 75, 80.
Marcos, you know
Yes.
surf. You're part amphibian.
We don't
He doesn't
surf.
know
dude.
surf. He's not
He
an
does
ocean
not know
frog.
surf.
He's not an ocean frog, you idiot.
What do you
Is
got
that
for
what you got?
damages done, Marcos?
I'm not sure if this baby is on spring break or this dad is, as they were attending the CONCACAF Women's Cup, World Cup. I don't know. Look at me talking soccer again. Either way, this baby, super chill, way cooler than my baby, getting drunk.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Damage is done goes to my baby. Ball's in your court. Be cooler than this kid. Super dope.
Damage is done.
Wait. Look
For
at
for those who are just
I mean,
listening
it's
to us,
probably empty. Let's be positive.
Really?
here.
Really?
for those just listening to us,
Absolutely
it is a guy at a soccer match and a baby Bjorn. His baby has a giant, truly tall boy, and he's chugging.
Wait,
Like the
yeah,
big
it's like
with such grace, there that can's empty.
We have
it has to be it because look at them little hands. Them little hands can't lift a heavy can.
Well, you don't know. Maybe it was a little empty. You know.
He just finished.
There's no way that with that little tilt, that liquid is actually going to the baby's mouth.
Right. It's just caught a still. You don't know. We don't know the video. He could be chugging. You know,
For sure.
There could be a straw.
Really?
Finished it. All I know is if I go home and my baby's still drinking milk,
Hey,
loser.
Tommy, there's no, if you turn your head, Tommy taking a sip.
If you guys want to go to Heat Nuggets, caller number 7 right now to 305-567-0560. 305-567-0560. Caller 7 to 305-567-0560. You will win a pair of tickets to Heat Nuggets next Wednesday. Caller 7 to 305-567-0560. Get your call with your headlines coming up next.
It's not 2 days price.
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM.
Hello, coupon boy.
Thank you. What?
Because you probably go to Publix like me. You go in, get what you need to get, and get the hell out of there.
I didn't say I used a Publix coupon, so I don't know why you're deflecting. Like, what are you, Sergey Bobrovsky? Like deflecting pucks?
You said you
I
CBS.
said, yeah, exactly. Thank you. Okay, so -1 for deception.
Oh,
-1 for deception.
you and old frog boy.
What?
Just
He should. He
That's
should.
the scoreboard.
He should. We are a show of honor.
Oh.
And I don't appreciate my character being called into question not once, but twice last hour. Twice.
Long hour.
He's hurt, Leroy. He's hurt.
Long hour.
I'm hurt. That's all. You know, I don't understand it. I don't understand when all of a sudden you became old Doubting Leroy, thinking that Tobin is just making stuff up willy-nilly all over the place. Not true.
Maybe it was that smirk.
Let's get some headlines.
Stop this.
Exactly, dude. Let's get some headlines here, huh? Brought to us by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy a truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
So some news on Tua. This is a report from A to Z Sports.
You think the fact that they letting Christian Wilkins go, they gonna hurry up and pay Tua?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
Definitely give it to check out. But according to Damian Parson of A to Z Sports, Tua Tagovailoa, for the first time in his career, has hired a personal quarterbacks coach.
Okay. Slowly but surely, this guy's becoming Russell Wilson. What are we doing here?
What do you mean?
This
Marcos.
It's the same guy.
Marcos.
He's less mobile. You're right.
Marcos.
Yeah.
Marcos.
Wow.
Tom Brady had one for 20 years.
No way.
I'm telling you.
Talk about
he would go back to California.
Yep.
And you have a quarterback coach.
It says
Then
Miami Dolphins star quarterback Tua Tagovailoa coming off a strong 2023 campaign where he led the league in passing yards, but apparently not mobility for Marcos. Despite the overall success this past season, there's still room for growth for the Dolphins signal caller. More importantly, Tua could be on his way to an even better season. While at the NFL Scouting Combine, I discovered that Tua has finally hired a personal quarterbacks coach. An interesting development to find out. He has not relied on a true offseason QB coach and trainer as most NFL QBs do. So here's the thing, though. Marcos is like last year, took jiu-jitsu, learned how to fall.
Yep.
And he mastered it. Now he's adding to the repertoire of great QB coaching. Why would you scoff at news like this?
Fine. You know, you're right. Maybe it's crazy for me to be upset that he has a quarterbacks coach because all the great quarterbacks do it. What I should be more upset about is why did it take so long? Why are we waiting until the 5th year for him to get a quarterback?
Well, he had years where he had years that he had to get healthy. And did you not just hear he used last year to do jiu-jitsu? And so, like, how many coaches do you need on the Rolodex? Like, you know, he did have an improved year as a quarterback. You can't deny that.
Wait. Marcos.
Quit on that jiu-jitsu, by the way. Quit.
Marcos.
Yep.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
You're using this coaching thing as a sign of, oh, he's a bad quarterback. He needs to learn how to throw.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow also had a quarterback's coach.
So you understand my fear?
No.
Oh,
What they use quarterback coaches for is to be able to put their body in a position to throw the ball more efficiently. Not throw it better. He's already right, but he does this so he learns how to throw the ball more efficiently. So his body doesn't get in bad spots where he can't put the amount of strength he needs into his throws. That's all.
I think he needs a track coach because someone named Easton Stick had double rushing yards than Tua last year, dude. You know how much rushing yards Tua had all of last year?
Sure.
74.
Okay.
74.
What do you
Just looking at
what do you think he should have?
Well, I'm just looking at the list.
No. If you have a problem with how many yards rushing he had, what would be acceptable for Marcos?
250.
You know, Ryan
He also led the league in passing, so don't you think it's better that he get it to the playmakers?
Also, Ryan Fitzpatrick in the tank year, he led the Dolphins in rushing.
Yeah, that's true.
Team sucked.
That's not good though. That should never happen. He should. I don't want Tua to lead the team in rushing. That's great.
Well, just letting you know, dude. That is that was what they had. Personal QB coach with Tua Tagovailoa.
Mm-hmm. Get a track and field coach, Tua.
Who just celebrated a birthday, by the way. Happy belated to Tua.
Can I just say something, Marcos?
Yeah.
If you're slow as an ice wagon, getting a track coach ain't gonna make you a sprinter.
How slow is an ice wagon?
What the hell's an ice wagon?
Okay.
You never heard that phrase? Slow as an ice wagon.
No, I've never heard of that.
No, it's because you don't run.
I mean, wouldn't that be the perfect description then if it was slow?
Yeah.
Oh, it's baseball slang. Wow.
Slow as an ice wagon.
What the hell is that? What does that mean? Is that like when they would bring ice from house to house for your ice box?
Are you really doing this literally? You are really? Are you serious?
I'm just wondering.
Was it an?
I literally Googled it.
Like milk? Like there was an ice man? Ice wagon going down.
I remember. How about that?
Wow.
I apologize, Leroy.
What? Like everybody's heard that before, except you two knuckleheads.
I gotta tell you that Leroy Hoare, that's a great run. But once he got to 3rd and 38, he was slow as an ice wagon.
Slow.
He's as slow as an ice wagon going uphill is the proper term.
Yeah, for sure. In the 1800s, I didn't realize they brought ice from house to house.
Yeah, hey, jackass in 1800 didn't have ice machines.
Poor.
Take a break. Back after this. Why the St. Patrick's Day music, Marcos?
The St. Patty's Day music for news that has been reported. Not sure if you guys are seeing this. Sports Illustrated reports 1 minute ago. Miami Heat's reportedly signing NBA champion Patty Mills.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, look at that.
Who's reporting that?
That is according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. The Miami Heat will likely sign Patty Mills. That was updated 1 minute ago.
I gotta tell you, I don't know if I like this.
What?
Isn't he a DN3 guy?
I think is this a petty thing? This has to be a petty thing.
Or Tyler Hero's injury is more substantial.
Oh,
that's possible. You can't rule that out. They don't really have any great shooters outside of Duncan, like guys who are known for shooting. They have guys who can shoot. Patty Mills just scarred from the 14 finals, dude. That guy lit us up.
Yeah, he did.
I got scars, man. No, it's not
fair.
a petty thing. Like I hate him. It's just like that guy.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel a certain way. I understand. I'd feel the same way if I see Danny Green ever put on Miami before.
Isn't Danny? Yeah, I saw Danny Green. I think he's an Odyssey insider. I was like, oof. Patty Mills, according to Adrian, according to Barry Jackson, is going to take Drew Smith's roster spot. So Rozier, DeLon, and Mills bolster the Heat at guard. All right.
Nice.
Patty Mills signed to the Heat.
What's more incredible, that the Heat signed him or that he was available?
Well, he had just gotten released by the Hawks. The
Right.
Hawks had just waived him pretty recently. But I mean, I'm just telling you, I get the chills just thinking about and not good ones with Patty Mills just destroying the Miami Heat in the 14 finals. Kills us.
It's a long time ago.
I know, man. I know. Wild.
Yeah, it is bad memories, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Every time a team goes on a run, there's always a signing of some sort. Not to say that this is necessarily going to be it. I think the Terry Rozier signing is the one that's really going to bolster us, but there's always signings that they make throughout the year to get better. So
yeah, he is I'm trying to look at his numbers this year so far.
See my shirt?
Oh, animal style.
He's like a child, so easily distracted.
Oh, me?
Did you always have
Leroy.
that on?
Yeah,
he had it on all day.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Patty Mills so far this year is shooting 38% from downtown, but he takes under 2 a game. He wasn't playing. He's playing 10 minutes a game. But 39% for his career.
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, it is good.
What is average for NBA? 36, 37?
I don't know what the average is this year.
Yeah.
I know the averages went way up because there's a lot more guys shooting over 40 this year because the
Right.
shooting's bananas.
And isn't Jimmy Butler 50%?
From 3?
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler is killing it from 3 this year. I think he's at I think he's something like 46% from 3 this year.
Right.
It's his shooting this year is bananas compared to years past. Yeah, Jimmy is just under a shade under 46% this year.
Okay.
Which
I
he's
like the
been.
addition.
What's that?
I like the additions that we've made. I like Scary, Terry. I like DeLon. And I think Patty just adds, like, as you're going into the playoffs, you have someone who can handle the ball who's been there before.
Yeah, he's definitely been there before. He's got experience, can shoot a little bit. And to Leroy's point, look, if Tyler Hero is going to be more banged up than they thought,
It just seems like that's a move that you make because you need a body to pick up some of the ball handling that you don't have. And that means that you got to think that Tyler's not coming back anytime soon. Otherwise, you would have 3 guards.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether or not he is going to be back anytime soon, but it is, man, it is Patty Mills, who I just remember him.
How old is he? Does he still have the little baby dreads, or is he?
Yeah, and Australian.
An Australian, yes.
That is strange.
which I am. That kind of sneakily makes me excited.
He doesn't have the
He's
accent.
35.
Does he have the accent?
I think he does have the accent.
I think he does. I think I've heard it.
You know who's also Australian is the bum.
Bill
what's his
Simmons?
name? Huh?
Oh,
No.
sorry, I got confused.
The point guard, the 6'10" point guard.
Oh, Ben Simmons. Yeah, I was close.
Another Simmons.
Ben Simmons is also Australian, but I never heard his accent either.
Yeah, I think his kind of goes in and out, you know? Like I think he could turn it on if he wants to.
Oh, like old boy did down here with the running back?
People did allege Jai hammed it up on the British side.
Did he?
I don't agree with that.
Oh, okay.
You
I don't
come down to South Florida and play a sport with an accent, Tobin's gonna be your guy.
That's right. That's right. Nothing better though than our boy Nico, who I think has solidified himself in that 4 spot. I can't see them going away from him.
Nice.
You know?
So you think he's gonna start? Like,
yeah, I don't think it's going away.
I think
it's going away.
Here's what's interesting about what Spo does. Spo will move everything around to keep guys in their same role. So he doesn't have to move 3 guys, right? So instead of moving a guy in the starting rotation, he'll take an end of the bench guy, put him in the starting rotation, so those guys on the second unit can keep their spot. He's always done that.
Woj says at 35, Mills has played 95 career playoff games with the Blazers, Spurs, and Nets. Played 19 games with the Hawks this season. Now joins the Heat, where he's eligible to join the postseason roster.
All right.
Let's get it. All right. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got, Patty Mills. Can I do his over under tonight? Am I allowed? Do you think the Hard Rock bet's got that going?
Dude.
What are we little, you know, it's probably in the word. Down here for a physical
right now.
Wait, he's not going to need a conditioning period like Lowry?
Lowry, get out there, shoot threes. It's a Pistons game. It's almost like an open run tonight.
Yeah.
I hate when you say that.
What?
I hate when you say stuff like this.
I'm not look
because it makes you that much more miserable.
No, that's not fair.
Okay.
I have always an appropriate reaction to things. I'm well mannered and tempered on these things. So
what?
Look, I'm happy that Patty Mills is here. I'm not, you know, I still have bad memories of what he did to us. He obliterated us. But now he's part of the good guys. So
all right.
Welcome aboard, Patty. Happy to have you here, dude. Now can we talk some kangaroos?
Wouldn't that be something if he came in and you interviewed him? He goes, "Good day, mate."
Good day, mate.
Imagine that.
Oh,
I would like that. I would like that.
There's
Ooh.
no chance.
Maybe he's in the
There's
building
no
tonight.
chance he's throwing a good day, mate out there.
We don't know. You don't know that.
Oh wait, but here's the
Maybe he gets interviewed before the game.
No. Here's the kicker. I know Tobin. Tobin will say it first, and then he'll say it, and we'll only get the answer.
Thanks, Mike.
The response.
Showmate Jon Anik. He's calling UFC 299. He breaks it all down with us. Coming up next. But before that, last pair of Heat tickets to give away today. Caller number 8 for Patty Mills, although that's not going to be his number because that's Jamal Cain's, but his former number was 8. Caller 8 to 305-567-0560 gets a pair of Heat Nuggets tickets. 305-567-0560. Caller 8 gets Heat Nuggets tickets. Jon Anik is next.
This hour of Tobin and Leroy is sponsored by
Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. We'll go back into the Cats coming up at the top of the hour as they beat the New York Rangers yesterday. They are rolling right now. Heat back on the hardwood tonight. We are on Christian Wilkins watch and all things Miami Dolphins. But, you know, we are very, very excited. This weekend is UFC 299 at the Kaseya Center. Leroy, have you seen Sean O'Malley has just revealed his kit for this fight, and he is for the Miami card wearing pink shorts, which I believe is a UFC first since they've had the uniforms. So he's going Miami Vice for the.
Punk? He had pink hair and he wore pink shorts.
I think you're thinking of Seth Petrozelli back in the day, dude. The guy who knocked out Kimbo.
What's his name? CK Punk.
CM Punk?
CM Punk.
No, I don't think CM Punk had. He didn't have pink hair, nor did he have pink.
Wait,
no,
never did anything pink.
I'm telling you, the pink hair guy you're thinking of is the guy who knocked out Kimbo.
Oh, okay.
That was way back. Remember, Kimbo fought this guy Seth Petrozelli last minute, knocked him out, like ruined. I don't know if it was Elite XC or which promotion it was, but it all crumbled after that because Kimbo went down. Then Kimbo went on Ultimate Fighter. Let's talk to a real expert. All right, let's go out to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line shop. Hundreds of Toyotas indoors and one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. The voice of the UFC, Jon Anik, will be on the call this weekend. UFC 299 at the Kaseya Center. John, do you remember Seth Petrozelli and his pink hair knocking out Kimbo Slice? Does that ring a bell?
Yes, and it was Elite XC, and that really flipped that promotion sideways because they had obviously huge expectations for Kimbo, and that was the last thing they were looking for was a last-minute replacement like Seth Petrozelli to come in and sort of knock out their cash cow. But you're breaking news to me on Sean O'Malley with the pink shorts. Anyone who watches the UFC regularly knows that for title fights, I'll say, you know, this dude's in blue and his opponent is in the black and gold befitting a champion. It sounds like I'm not going to have the chance to say that this weekend.
No, you might have to go. You might have to go with something with my advice. The UFC's Twitter account just tweeted it out, John. They said the Sugar Show is going pink. He will wear pink shorts for his first bantamweight title defense. Listen, he's a marketing man. He wants to go Miami Vice. Probably a smart move by Sean O'Malley.
And you know what's interesting? And he really has resonated with this fan base. And a big reason why is just his fighting style, right? When you hear my pay-per-view open this Saturday, part of the reason this guy is a big star, a huge part of the reason is because he knocks people clean out. Certainly on social media, he has a definite presence and he is quick of wit and he seems cerebral. But when he opens his mouth, he's not some great orator who has built up his brand by masterfully executing post-fight interviews. You know, he has a little bit of a squeaky voice. He's a little bit awkward, but everything else, right? The social media persona, the fighting style, the striking ability, that's why he's a star. And obviously we're all very curious to see what he can do with this Miami showcase this weekend.
Can't wait for it. I'm excited, you know, with him and Chito. Obviously there's a past. How much do you look at that first fight, John? You know, Chito gets the win and very early in Sean's career, but obviously was hindered by something, foot, ankle, whatever the hell went on there. Does that resonate at all with you, that first matchup?
Well, it's hard to lean too much into it because not only were there not championship stakes, but it was happening in a COVID-19 climate at the UFC Apex, even though it was on a numbered pay-per-view card. It was in a 25-foot octagon with no fans in a very unique environment. So there were a lot of things about that fight that are not going to be simulated this weekend. But as Sean O'Malley sits here, 29 years of age, making his first UFC bantamweight title defense, if I were to say one concern to you guys about his ability to retain this title long-term, it's not even so much about the ruthless nature of the division. It's just his relative durability or lack thereof. The Chito Vera fight was certainly not the first time in the octagon he has been injured. It's happened at least twice in the octagon. He's dealt with injuries like plantar fasciitis. And even when he beat Aljamain Sterling and he beat him in the second round, he said after the fight that he went in there with an injured rib. And if he was forced to grapple at all, he was probably going to lose the fight. So even that fight, he went in injured. So Chito Vera is nothing if not durable, right? This is a guy who has 32 pro fights, has never been finished in the UFC. So there are certainly things working in Chito Vera's favor. I just think he is on the wrong end of the speed and power and athlete equation, and that's why Sean's a pretty significant favorite.
So, John, I am infatuated with how these guys get kicked in the face, right? It is the thing that amazes me the most, and I asked Tobin that why wouldn't you study how long a guy's legs are so you don't walk into a front kick or something like that? And these are two guys that have two of the longest legs that we've seen with the ability to kick. And you brought something up about now they're starting to measure that. I mean, how many people get knocked out before you start figuring out, hey, this guy got some long legs? How are they so good at this? How can they get away with this? Because it just, to me, if I'm fighting, and I know I'm going to sound like an ignoramus by saying this. If I'm fighting a guy that has kicked 7 guys in the head, when I prepare for that fight, I'm going to look at all the different methods he sets that kick up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the preparation part of it. And it's a good question, but a lot of that is easier said than done. Sean O'Malley is not a guy that you can necessarily simulate in training. He's an absolute sniper, right? You guys should see him shoot a basketball. And yes, we measure leg reach right now, but a lot of it is about just the ability to manage distance and range. And nobody, I think, for my money, was better at that than Conor McGregor. And I think Sean O'Malley has a lot of those skills, just athletically and otherwise, knowing how to manage distance. And the other thing, too, is offensively, if Chito Vera is trying to get things done, sometimes, you're mitigating risk, but sometimes you have to step in harm's way in order to get your own stuff done offensively. But certainly Sean O'Malley has a lot of different kicks in his arsenal, but I really think it's more about just the IQ, the shot selection, the fighting instincts, knowing when to throw it, switching up the tempo and the speed of your strikes, not to mention the location. Sean O'Malley's just a really, really good striker. And, I think Chito and Jason Perillo, his striking coach, have done their homework. But sometimes you can just be in there with a guy who's better.
John, two of my favorites on the card this weekend, Gilbert Burns and Dustin. Yes. We had Gilbert on last week, and he's talking about, like, look, somebody gave me my opportunity back in the day. That's kind of what this is, the cycle of the UFC. So 2 guys who are highly ranked, they're taking on, just 2 killing up and comers in Benoit Saint Denis and Jack Della Maddalena. Like, this almost makes me sad, John. Like, it feels like they're being told, oh, no, now you guys are gatekeepers. How much faith should I have that my guys can get it done in Dustin and Gilbert? Because I'm nervous about this weekend.
Well, there's upside to both of these fights. I mean, Dustin Poirier is fighting a guy in Benoit Saint Denis, who is a former French Special Forces operative, and he's the boogeyman of the lightweight division right now. So there have been times in the past where Dustin Poirier has said, I'm not really interested in a fight with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion Beneil Dariush, even though he has this long winning streak, because the fans aren't going to get excited. The fans are excited to see Dustin fight Benoit Saint Denis. Benoit Saint Denis has won 5 straight at lightweight. He's put them all away, and he's favored at a more than 2-to-1 clip to beat Dustin Poirier. So if Poirier goes out and beats Benoit Saint Denis, which he's more than capable of doing, I wouldn't be surprised to see his next fight be for the undisputed title. I know there are guys like Justin Gaethje that are above him right now, but Gaethje's got to fight with Max Holloway for the BMF belt at UFC 300. So there could be some real clarity for Poirier as far as a shot at the undisputed title. As far as Jack Della Maddalena and Gilbert Burns are concerned, Gilbert's 3-2 since he fought for the title. He's approaching, I think, 37 years of age, and he's fighting a guy not unlike Benoit Saint Denis, who has all of this UFC momentum and is all the rage with fight fans. Jack Della Maddalena, 6-0 in the UFC, last 2 wins by split decision, but he can strike, he can submit, he can do a lot of things well. And I think Gilbert, not unlike Dustin, just sees the upside in beating a guy like Jack Della Maddalena, even if he is ranked below him in the top 15, be the first guy to beat him in the UFC and immediately inject yourself back into the championship conversation. So I tend to scoff at those who suggest there's an upside in these guys winning these fights, and obviously the Gilbert Burns, Jack Della Maddalena betting line is a lot closer. We've seen money pour in on Benoit Saint Denis over the last 48 hours, which to a lot of people is crazy, right? We taped the Anik and Florian podcast yesterday. My handicapper and Kenny Florian both picked Dustin Poirier, and not just because he's plus 180, but all the betting money's going in the opposite direction. So this card is great. Like, I've been doing this 13 years, like, with respect to every other pay-per-view. This is like the deepest card I think I've ever been assigned.
No, it's an insane card. I can't believe, like, after years of us not getting it down here, we've now been spoiled because we had the return down here in Miami, and now we're getting like people were saying, like, this could even rival 300 with as far as the depth is concerned. These last 3 pay-per-views have been absolutely insane. I wonder with Dustin, because the thing that's so great about him, John, is like he'll take that first big shot. It's almost like when the fights are craziest, that's when he's best. Do you feel like he can afford that kind of style in a fight like this, or he's just got to be who he is?
It's a great question. I don't lean too much into his last loss to Justin Gaethje by head kick knockout as some sort of harbinger of things to come. Certainly it's hard not to consider all of the MMA miles that Dustin Poirier has, but Benoit Saint-Denis has been through hell, not just, of course, in his professional life as a French Special Forces operative, but Benoit Saint-Denis' UFC debut. He was up at 170 pounds on short notice. BSD was on the wrong side of one of the worst beatings in UFC history. Many people wondered aloud if he would ever be the same. So I think it stands to reason there could be durability issues on both sides if somebody lands a potentially concussive blow early on. Certainly 5 rounds, I think, for Dustin Poirier, just given his wealth of UFC experience, is something that favors him in the matchup. But I hate to overstate this dude as like a French soldier, but I'm just telling you guys, like, he is undeniably special as athlete, as human being, as strong-willed individual. And it's all of those things that made this fight appetizing for Dustin Poirier. It's a fascinating fight. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting early with a lot of those heavy weapons being exchanged.
John, how much should we make of Gilbert Burns not fighting in a very long time? Because I mentioned to him it was a blessing in disguise because the dude fought 3 times in 5 months, 6 months? And he's getting older. How much was that time off needed and maybe helped him get ready for a fight like this?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I do stand corrected. He's already 37. He'll be 38 in July, and I don't have to tell you guys that mixed martial arts is a young man's game. But, yeah, he fought 3 times last year, and they were all done by May 6th. Part of that was just jumping up for a short notice opportunity against Bilal Muhammad, which obviously did not go his way. But, yeah, I think pushing the reset button either by design or out of necessity because the right fight didn't materialize was a good decision by Gilbert Burns. And I think it stands to reason that he's fresh, and I think he sees a lot of things in this matchup that he can exploit, when it comes to his offensive wrestling and trying to take Jack Della Maddalena down. But as far as a championship trajectory for Gilbert Burns, I think we'll get all those answers as to whether or not he can still do it with this Jack Della Maddalena fight, because Jack is you got to laud the matchmakers. It really is the perfect fight at the perfect time for both guys. Like, Jack is not even yet at his fighting prime, and yet already looks like on any given Saturday night he could be the welterweight champion, And a lot of these guys see Leon Edwards, the champion in their division, as a beatable guy and a good matchup for them. Now, Leon, I think, is on a tremendously different level than he was 2 or 3 years ago. But it's a huge, huge weekend for the welterweight division. And if Gilbert can put away a guy like this, it'll open everything back up.
John, I guess just what the hell's going on with Bilal Muhammad? What did this guy do that he's not getting lined up for the shot? All the stuff with 300, there were 3 guys offered to Leon Edwards. I don't get it, man. Like, what, he's, and it's not, people will say, oh, the entertainment factor. He's had some really, really impressive performances his last couple times out. What does he got to do?
Well, so he's not a fan favorite. I think that's probably the only thing that you could knock is that he does have this legion of haters, and I think he has leaned into it a little bit. But I feel pretty convicted saying on your robust airwaves that Bilal Muhammad will be next to fight for the undisputed UFC welterweight title. Basically, the reason why it was reported that other guys were offered that fight for UFC 300 and not Bilal is because I think if Leon Edwards is going to fight and defend his title at UFC 300, the B side of that title fighter, the other guy in that fight, has to be a driver when it comes to the pay-per-view and overall fan interest. And even though you and I, BT, can talk about how exciting and offensive Bilal Muhammad is, for one reason or another, maybe his style is not everybody's cup of tea, but he can strike, he can wrestle, he can do it all. Informed speculation tells me that in the month of June, Bilal Muhammad is going to challenge Leon Edwards for the title, and that will be a main event, and it might even happen in England. But gosh, man, I feel really confident that even though it seems like they've been prioritizing other guys and even offering other guys that fight, Dana White's guarantees are pretty ironclad, and he has come out and said that Bilal's going to be next, and Merab Dvalishvili is going to be next for whoever wins this weekend with Sean O'Malley and Chito Vera. And I am a betting man. I would bet you any amount of money that Bilal will be next, even though it doesn't seem like the noise suggests that that's going to happen.
Talking to Jon Anik. He'll be on the call this weekend. UFC 299 at the Kaseya Center. Cannot wait. Jon, just thinking back to last year, many years had gone by before Miami got a card again. Do you remember what that atmosphere was like, and how excited are you again to, you're a South Florida guy, adopt this as your kind of second home. How excited are you to get it back down here in South Florida?
I mean, how do we top it is my only question. It was absolutely deafening in there. It was festive all week. It just kind of felt like it took over the town. And it's a hard town to take over, right? There's certain places we go and there isn't necessarily much going on. And it feels like there's nothing but the UFC in the city. But then to have it end with that result, one of the more historically relevant knockouts in UFC history with Israel Adesanya getting Alex Pereira, it just felt like it was perfect. And they knew they needed to somehow do anything they could to up the ante. So one of the top two promotional superstars right now, I mean, if you consider Conor McGregor, I would say Sean O'Malley is no worse than number 3 in terms of moving all needles. They knew they had to come correct. So they got Sean O'Malley headlining in Miami. I guess what I wonder is that they have a deal with Salt Lake City where they go back to back to back 3 pay-per-views in as many years. I have no inside information as to whether or not that's the reality with Miami, but I just hope that this tremendous sports market appreciates how rare it is for a domestic market to get pay-per-views in back-to-back years. So I'm excited to hit, rubber to pavement on Wednesday and not have to get in the metal tube for this one.
I got the goosies so much. Like I'm driving down to the Heat game on Saturday. I see the big billboard is like right there as you're getting off to go to the Heat game. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is. I don't take it for granted, Jon. Like the layoff killed me. I was like, oh my God, we're never going to get it again. So to see that still even up there with those guys, and the poster, like right as the building as you're getting to the Heat game, I was so excited for it. I cannot wait for Saturday night.
No, it's going to be great. And you wondered if maybe us going to Jacksonville and Tampa and Orlando somehow was hurting Miami. Like I never got any answers as to why there was a 20-year gap. Maybe because they thought they needed to blow it out if LeBron James was going to show up or something. But hopefully we're back next year too. But I expect people to be loud and proud here Saturday night.
Well, if you guys aren't going to be in the building, ESPN Plus pay-per-view is where you guys can watch it. Jon Anik, we always appreciate the time. Thank you so much. And
thanks, Jon.
Looking forward to the week.
Thank you, brothers. Always a pleasure. We'll see you soon.